What is up, everyone? We are now back once again, day number 4 for Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4. We are your shoutcasters for tonight. I am Mike, and with me is Annie. Now, Annie, what is up?
It's great to be back for this day four of the group stage, Mike. And so this will be the last chance, the last day for these 18 teams of Group 2 to even have a chance to step into the finals. And so, not to put any pressure on these teams, still I'm excited to see who is gonna come out in the top 5 and eventually move on to the finals later on.
I mean, all these teams, it's gonna be their final day, and it's gonna be their last chance, last 6 games to prove their worth and to be the part of the finalist that will happen later on. I mean, on day 7, which you know we there are gonna be a lot of happenings that it's very unpredictable on which teams.
Yes, and I'm definitely actually pretty excited right now since even so early on in the game, we already see Goat 2.0 having an engagement. And over here, and as you can see in the camera, we can already see Concept versus SOL as well. Zergic is trying to get some sprays in, but unfortunately, he doesn't get any damage in the bag. And so back to Goat 2.0, it seems that um I mean, they're fine. Definitely Go 2.0 is fine. They don't have any eliminations just yet. And so Bomba right here is trying to find a few from a distance is very low on health. Very low on health, and definitely he'll be trying to heal up before going in for the engagement. And so Bombom's just resetting a bit. He has given away his information from that sprays, but still eyes on a few and baby. Very low on health on both sides of Ambitious, I believe that was them. And so, even over here with AKM Esports, they also have their own engagement against DZM Unfaced. And already DZM Unfaced is getting wiped out. Kuda Boss very low on health. One more shot at him, and this will be the end of DCM Unfaced for this map.
And with that marks the first team eliminated for the first game of the day. Now, still back into the game right now. Go 2.0 still against ERM, and at this point, they're finishing the game as one goes down, and the rest of the ERM members are saying that they really shouldn't go for an engagement for. So ambitious right here. They're just gonna really just aim for a placement point, while because it's just gonna be hard to fight a lot of teams later on.
And you don't want to be Ruhu from Ambitious right now, but then nonetheless, he's trying to get the sprays in, even though he's all alone, and with that, he gets punished, and that is the last nail in the coffin for Ambitious. They will be eliminated, the second team, in fact, to be eliminated from this map.
And of course, 16 teams remaining, still early into the game, but it is Sanhok, so a little bit earlier a little bit quicker, especially Sanhok being a very small map. But all of these teams, it seems like they're quite sharing the same area, the same type of buildings, and we will probably expect a lot of engagements later on.
Yes, and hopefully we can see those engagements pretty soon because those early engagements seem to have stopped for now. Even though over here Soul and Concept are still in the same vicinity, they aren't engaging against each other. And so it's just something that we'll have to wait and see later on. And for everyone else involved, such as Go 2.0, they did wipe out one entire squad, and so that is 4 eliminations to their name. And everyone else, it seems that there are some squads that have lost one person on their side. It seems that Go 2.0 actually lost one person on their side. And that goes the same as with Juice. And so for everyone else, they're just chilling. They're just waiting for the circle to do its thing. And then eventually they'll go on and get some more engagements once some squads rotate into the area.
But with back into the action right here for SOL, still waiting. They do have the advantage right here, especially that they're all complete. But for the side of Trillia right here, 3 members, and one of them is isolated. So if he goes down, then that's gonna be hard for the rest of his members right here. And that's actually another team. That's Concept right there, and Trillia and SOL. And again, for at this point, they do have the advantage, SOL, and Trillia is just alone and isolated right here. Concept with 2 members, But back into the action, I think something
bigger because this is a pretty scary fight. This is outside of the circle, and so there's double the pressure for these teams. You gotta think about the damage that the stage 2 circle is doing on you, and also you gotta think about just the going against you. And so far, Juicebox they lost one have lobby, and so that's definitely this. On the other hand, AKM they do have at least three. So it's gonna wait until this box actually one play that revive, and sooner or later we might see the end of AKM.
that's soon the last number standing for Juicebox right here, and of course, still back into esports. They do actually protecting this side of the bridge right here. So if someone tries to cross, they will have to face them. However, if that team is already expecting that, then that's gonna be easy for them to be taken out.
Sushi down. Yes, and with that, that is the end of Juicebox from this map. That would be the third team eliminated from this first map. And so, actually, AKM, they walk away with 7 whole eliminations. That's a great start for today. And hopefully, we can see that kind of momentum later on. But it's quite early to say the least if, AKM will win this chicken dinner. But definitely they're doing really well so far. We are still 8 minutes into the game and they've had a lot of eliminations put in their bag.
Mm-hmm. And now 15 teams in an 8-minute game. So far, it's a bit of a slow burn, especially when it's a Sanhok, a really small map. But I think they're trying to be careful right here since it's the first game of the last for the finals. Looking of all the players, looking most of them, some still need others are
Hopefully they stay that way. Up in the top for this map, because so far we can see something happening actually in the kill feed right now. Stallion versus Club Leons as well, but all the while in the kill feed we actually saw several other engagements, and so lots of things happening, but so far a little bit quiet once again in the kill feed. No one's trying to put some sprays on, no one's trying to engage just yet. Everyone's just waiting for the right moment to strike, because they gotta play it safe a bit. They gotta play it safe. This is their sixth to the last chance to qualify for the finals. And so this should be fun for them, and definitely a nail biter perhaps to the fans of these 18 squads. And of course, once again, if you guys are tuning into the live, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also cheer for your favorite team in the live chat.
And by the way, happy Halloween to everyone. Probably you guys just finished your trick or treating, and yeah, I mean, so far back into the game, nothing's really happening that much yet. But it's still, I guess, early though. In a map like Sign Up, it should, the engagement should be expected. But it seems like right now, these areas, these buildings, are shared by 2 teams or 3 teams, but they're really taking their time into going in for engagements.
Yes, definitely. I agree with you with them taking their time, but all the while, STL, they do find 2 knocks on their side. And all the while, Rampage MV, they have the crosshairs out. They spot a squad at a distance in the open field, in the elevation rather. So they're just trying, they're just waiting for the right moment to strike. But all the while, speaking of Club Leons, the Joker goes down. Definitely goes down. Seems that he's about to lose his health, but he actually gets revived just in the nick of time. And so they're back. They're definitely back. They're still alive as a 4-man squad, but so far 0 eliminations on their side, and so they don't have that momentum coming up just yet. But definitely I'm quite confident that they will find their footing real soon. They have the crosshairs out for Stallion, and so hopefully we can see some action really soon, because Club Leons, they're one of the top teams for for this group. And so I'm confident something interesting is gonna happen here really soon.
Hmm. And with Club Leon winning the
There we go.
Okay.
Top 5.
All right, we're back to the top five, Mike. Hopefully, we can be heard now. But now it seems Club Leons they are down to one person left, and Choti is taking a
Choti.
lot of damage from that stage six circle, and it's a risk. It's a risk to go and try to get to the safe zone, and so he's just trying to survive as much as possible with all the healing items that he can. And so it seems that he's gonna go keep moving. But all the while, we see one more team getting eliminated from the picture. And so that would be Zero and going down first between these five teams. And so we're down to Concept, STL, SQD, and Leons. And so all eyes on Benzo right now, getting those sprays on against Concept. And Concept is taking a lot of damage. One person on the red needing that revive, but unfortunately, we see the end of one of the members of Concept. And so back to the game. Concept 1 versus 1 against SQD. Yatui goes down, and so that might be the end. That might be a finisher. But for now, Trillius Y9 also goes down by the hands of STL. And so this is basically three different squads going against Concept. And with that, that is their elimination from the top three.
And now down to the last two teams. Stallion Esports, SQD right here. The squadrons, of course, they do have the higher ground, and I don't know, they're actually moving into the circle right here, but exposing themselves, giving them a hard time. Versus STL, they do have that low ground right here, but they do have the circle. They're just really sharing the circle right here, though. Two members from squadrons are already still inside on the edge, just by the edge. The grenade goes in, hoping to get one down, and it does. Gets Bitcoin down and waiting for the rest of the team from SKD to just go in and rush before they take them down. And that's gonna be the first winner chicken dinner to the side of the INS squadrons.
And INS Squadrons bags the first winner chicken dinner for tonight in this first Sanhok hack, the first and only Sanhok map rather of tonight. And so this is a good start for INS Squadrons, but of course we can see that their overall rank is number 10. They have 20 match points and of course a total points of 36. And so although they're a little bit far off from the top 5, still I'm confident if INS Squadrons they just ride on this momentum, this possible snowball that they already have. I mean, they have like 10 eliminations and 10 placement points. If they just keep this up, they might be able to kind of go ahead and try to get at least the top 5. And so once again, the individual team stats is still getting 2, Trippy getting 5 eliminations, Ghosty having 1, and Kitby having 2 eliminations.
And with the squadrons, though, them being at the 10th place right now, they still have a chance to really catch up, especially that winner chicken dinner. It also got them a lot of kill points, which is 20 for the total. So it's also pretty impactful for this team. So for the next 5 matches, they still have a chance to catch up, and it seems like if they keep up with the same pace, then we can expect them being part of the top 5. But for now, still early. We've got 5 more matches before we choose the top 5 teams that will be moving to the finals. But now, match summary right here: a total of almost 8,000 healing, and of course, the grenade eliminations are just a lot of grenade eliminations in this map rather, and especially in a map like Sanhok, where it's usually open unless you're in the hut, but in an open area where your only cover is the grass, then you can expect a lot of grenades to be thrown at you.
Yeah, so you can actually expect a lot of grenades going in Sanhok as well, especially with the kind of terrain that it has. But our MVP was Trippy with 5 eliminations. That is totally understandable because with 502 damage and 5 eliminations to his name, that is pretty much 50% of the eliminations on the side of SQD. And so coming in second, third, fourth, and fifth, they all have 3 eliminations, and that would go to Bum Bum, Zoro, TTS Evox's Storm, and I believe that's Concept's Y9. Although his name is Trillia, but yeah, I think that is from Concept. And so with that, their differences are in the damage.
It's from
Bum Bum
Chile.
definitely getting 758 damage. That is quite a lot on his side. And so these are the match rankings for this map, for this game. SQD, of course, getting 10 eliminations and 10 placement points for a total of 20. Coming in second is STL with 14, and then third Concept with 12. AKM Leons both have 8 points, GOAT having 7. V9, RPG, and Zeron rather, all having 5 points from this match. And so that's just the top 9, and top 9 already has 5 points from this map. And so I'm confident that top 10 and below, they have quite a substantial amount. And so Evox does have 5. But unfortunately, there's a huge drop after that. Crown only walks away with 2, and there are 3 teams with only 1 point. That would be Ambitious, CNS, and JNS, and 4. DZM on Face, GNS, Juicebox, and Soul. Unfortunately, they won't be having any points for now.
And these teams, it seems that Concept still maintaining the number 1 spot and now just aiming for the placement points. And now, really, I mean, getting that third place in the first game for tonight, it still gives them, it gives us a lot of expectation from them for the next 5 matches that they can perform well. So as long as they can keep that consistency, they will remain at the top. But for now, for the other teams, second place will go to Club Leons, Go 2.0 for the third, TTS Evox, and for the fourth, and the game over Velocity 9 for the fifth. So they can still actually be taken. They can be surpassed by SDMZ Seron if they manage to outperform Velocity 9. But for the rest of these teams, AKM Esports, they will have to do a lot more, and the rest of the teams as well, to be able to be a part of the top 5 to take that number 5 spot, which is still very, very crucial. But for those sitting at the top, especially Concept, it seems like they will be safe from elimination, and now just really at this point holding their number 1 spot.
Yes, and a lot of pressure for those for those teams who haven't even crossed the double points mark in their total points, and just to think that the top 5 is around at least 50 points, and so there's a lot of work to do if they want a chance to land into the finals, because it's a long way to go. 50 whole points is a long way to go, and that 50 is just gonna keep climbing, and that boundary is just gonna keep climbing. It'll be hard to catch up. But anyways, the top players of this overall of this group, and of course we can see Concepts 3 times 110 with 27 whole eliminations, and a huge drop after that coming in from Go 2.0's Bum Bum with 18, and Leon's Joker with 13 eliminations, and Zeron's TH4K M9 with 10, and Concepts Y9 with 11 eliminations. So these are your top players. We pretty much see the same names, of course, and that's understandable because these players, they just play really well, and they have a lot of points going in for their team in terms of eliminations. But once again, that was match number 7 for this group stage. And so we will be moving on to match number 8, our first Erangel map later on. But first, we'll be taking a break, so we'll be seeing you in a few minutes. Once again, we are back to the Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4, Day 2 of the Group 2 stage. And so we just witnessed the Sanhok map, our first and only Sanhok map for tonight. And so that was match number 7 with the chicken dinner for INS Squadrons. Once again, we are your casters. My name is Annie, and tonight with me would be Mike. Mike, what's up?
Well, thank you so much for that, Annie. And being now three Erangel matches for tonight, it would mark really the crucial moments for group stage number 2, because again there are a lot of promising teams. It's gonna be very interesting to see the top 5, but playing that three Erangel matches will be very very crucial, especially to those teams that are trying their best to reach the top 5 spot, especially with top 6, top 7, top 8. They will have to do more than that to actually beat their enemies who are at the top, because of course they won't be complacent right here, and they will try their best to also stay at the top.
Yes, and I definitely agree with you right there. Those who are already at the top, you can expect that they're gonna have the same consistent performance here on our next few maps. They would definitely not give away their top 5 spots that easily. And so, despite being quite safe where they're standing already, they're gonna try to get those eliminations and those placement points all the same, even if they're already safe. Especially that goes the same with Concept as well. They're practically in the 90s, in the line of 90s on the total points, and still they're performing really well despite already being, more or less safe. But going back to the present, we can actually see this flight path very, very biased towards the southern part of Erangel. And so, lots of these teams, they're gonna have quite little choice as to where to have their initial drop off points. And so at least the first circle will be a little bit forgiving for the part of these teams. And so for those who have decided to land around the area of perhaps Ferry Pier or Pochinki or the school, they're not gonna have to worry about rotating for the first stage of the circle.
In a map like Erangel, the first game is pretty generous to all of these teams, giving a lot of area in the circle, and with that gives them more of a freedom right here to go to different places, very very safely. Especially that the circle is again favoring to most of the island, though it's still centered on the northeast northwest part. So at that point, the teams do have a bit of a time right here. They have more time to prepare, but it also will end for some maybe if they will meet another team that are also trying to get an area.
Yes, and actually, we can see from the mini map, there's a possibility of a contest between Goat 2.0 and another squad. But so far, nothing in the kill feed just yet. And so, they're probably prioritizing getting some loot first. But all the while, we can see some shots coming in on the kill feed and also on screen. Actually, we can see SQD. They're in a bit of a trouble. One after the other, one goes down and the next goes down on the side of SQD. They already lost 2 players on their side. And so, over here, Crown, they did get those 2 eliminations. And so, that must have been from SQD. And so, not a really good start for SQD for now. But congratulations to Crown for getting those first 2 eliminations. And so, that might have been the first blood of this game. We are down to 65 players and still not one team has been completely eliminated just yet, but there's a possibility that might happen really soon.
And 18 teams still alive and kicking right here, which is what I explained a while ago. They have more of a time right here, so probably we'll be expecting a slow burn for this game. For the side of Ambitious, I think they are sharing with CNS bench team, also sharing an area right here with Ambitious. Um, still a lot of containers, so they have more of cover. They can just play that late. They can use that later to their advantage. But for now, at least they're respecting each other, and they're just recognizing their presence. And one ambitious member right here getting a down on the side of CNS bench team, though one also gets a revenge on that one. And it seems like two of these members from CNS bench team are away from the battlefield, and they have to rush back in order to save them, in order to help them. But for now, with Kaizin goes for a grenade kill right here, just holding that one out. The grenade will not hit anyone from Ambitious, and he shows up, but he goes down, and it's only gonna be up to the last member of Ambitious right here. It's gonna be Opera, which still he goes down, and again, the last member, it will be up to him, especially that they have to hold this one out. But for the rest of the team, for CNS, it's looking pretty good for them, especially they're all alive except one of their members needs that revive.
Kaizin actually won those two consecutive one versus ones against members of Ambitious, and so he does bag those two eliminations to himself. And so what all CNS has to do now is to wipe out the two last members of Ambitious, and they could potentially get the first eliminated team out of the picture. And so Kaizin getting those sprays in against Baby already eliminated him. And that's another elimination on their side. And so with Lucky putting the last nail in the coffin on Ambitious, that is the first team eliminated from this map.
And that marks the first team elimination. Now it seems like everything has set in motion right here. Now that the first team has been eliminated, that's gonna be Ambitious, and again, these teams, they're probably prepared for this one. And another grenade kill right there in an off screen happening right now. Still waiting for that confirmation, and another off screen down as well. But for now, for the side of CNS, all is good for them. Squadrons, however, will be facing them down from the side of GNS. Makuno going down, but he goes down as he just meets his end right there after dropping and going in for the aggression, but was punished for being too open.
Yes, and Isto has an opportunity for a second life since Ghosty was just nearby. And so, SQD, they have a chance once again to keep on becoming a two-man team. But it seems that Isto has to be left behind because Ghosty has no choice but to try to take down this other squad. Because, there we go, Ghosty gets hit by that grenade and loses so much health that they get knocked off. But at least Isto over here was actually revived from that, but unfortunately, Ghosty gets completely confirmed out of the picture, and so Isto will be the last person standing and will have to face off with three other players from GNS who is surrounding him. And Isto, he's gotta keep moving because he's getting swallowed up by the circle, and so he's gotta keep moving, and he's getting bombarded by a lot of throwables here. PUBG Cast is trying to push in to his location, to his building, and so he's in trouble. Esto is already in the numbers disadvantage, and he's already getting eaten up by that stage 1 circle, and he's getting bombarded with throwables as well. And PUBG Cast, he's probably gonna walk up into this stairs, and he'll try to push and get that kill against him. So this is trouble for Isto. Definitely, he will be losing his life right now, and this will be the end for INS Squadrons for now.
Squadrons going down once again. 4 more games, and it's really gonna give them a hard time. Squadrons, though, they have the number 10th spot, so they still have to try their best to bring out their A game, just as they did last game, in order to be a part of that number 5 teams. But for now, it seems it's gonna be very, very impossible right here for Ambitious. Still, they can try their best and maybe also destroy the momentum of other teams, but it's really looking slim for this team, especially that they are still at their 3 points, while the others are already garnering a lot of points.
Yes, and there's a lot of pressure to be had, especially if your team hasn't even crossed the double digits, hasn't even gotten 10 total points after 7 matches. And so, for these teams, they gotta work extra hard. They gotta work extra hard to catch up. But seeing the leaderboards, it's gonna be a bit hard. V9, who is on the top 5 spot, but rather going back to the game, Zoro goes down, loses a lot of health, needs that revive. And so his teammates are just around the corner, but still they're getting shot at by Stallion Esports. And so Zoro does get completely eliminated. They got finished off, and it seems that it's not over for these two squads just yet. V9 is just around the corner with their vehicles in, and they heard that ruckus, they heard those gunshots. And so they will be trying to get a piece of the pie, try to get some eliminations from that engagement. And so we'll just have to wait and see if if anyone else will be going down from this skirmish.
Definitely. In the side of Stallion Esports, still one member goes down from them. They have a chance for later on, but in a time like 9 minutes, and of course with the map condition, they still have more time right here to try their best to get more kill points and to probably go for a chicken dinner. But for now, looking at the status of all of these teams right here, SOL, they do have 2 kill points now. The CNS gets that 4, of course, from the ambitious engagement a while ago. But for now, the other teams are still not really. They don't really have much skills for now, especially that 2 teams have only been eliminated.
Yes, and so this will be a more or less a slower part of this game. But speaking of which, Sol OG, they are getting shot at by members of DCM on face, and 68A will be going down and gets finished off by 3 members of DCM on face. But all the while, Edhuru is getting shot at from a distance, and he'll have to heal himself up because he's down to 50% of his health. And so, going back to DCM on face, so far they did lose Kuda Boss, but however, Edhuru does have 1 elimination to their name thanks to Soul just kind of walking into this Lion's Den where DCM Unfaced had control over. And so speaking of which, we're back to the game, and actually Club Leon's Choti is down, but they're not done just yet. They managed to find Concept, and their Joker over here is trying to get those sprays on. Unfortunately, he doesn't find the knocks that he needs, but he's not stopping just yet. Joker is getting shot at, and this might be the end of Joker, but he gets down on time. Kamikaze all the while from AKM getting their shots in on a moving vehicle from the distance, trying to get some damage in the bag, but unfortunately he doesn't find the damage that he needs just yet.
And once again, for Club Leons, still trying their best to move away, especially from the team that's been targeting them. And they have to reposition right here. But for now, still, I think, of course, knowing Club Leons, probably they would go for a different angle to fight them. But it's still 11 minutes into the game. It's kind of a bit early. Maybe it's going to be too risky for them if they do that. So for now, we're just going to chill and, of course, relax, especially other teams have been taking their time as well.
Definitely, these teams have been taking their time, and especially now that we are down to 55 players and 16 teams, it's still quite slow. And although Hyaku from SOLOG is in trouble right here, actually their whole squad's in trouble. Bun 98 is the last person standing, and with 50% of the health, if he gets 1 or 2 more good shots in him, it's gonna be over for Sol. He's the last person standing, but fortunately, he does have the opportunity to heal himself up, but he's looking out the window. He's trying to see if he can find some potential eliminations, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Rampage MV is surrounding his area. If you take a look at the mini map, this is pretty much like a National Geographic kind of thing with all 4 of their squads just surrounding him, and so they will be confidently pushing into the building. Rampage MV will be confidently pushing in. They know that there's just 1 person left here, and they just want this elimination. They want 1 more point to their name, and so that's what they're gonna be doing now. But they don't have the information just yet. They don't know where Bun 98 is just yet, and so they'll be trying to gather some information first before they really initiate an engagement against him.
For now, it seems like SOL right there. They're probably caught in a pickle. Rampage MV side right here targeting them, and I think they're gonna join as the third party. But for now, SEOL is in a pretty tight spot, especially that the rest of the team right here are just aiming for him. The grenade goes in, hoping to get him down, but 198 still catches one off guard. The shotgun still tries to connect, but it will fail, and now he's gonna be eliminated. The team of SOL, the 16th team rather, to be the 16th placer for this match is SOL. So of course, still setting that motion right there. We can see a lot of engagements later on. Stallion Esports, on the other hand, still gets spotted and gets killed right away. The down, waiting for his teammates, but it's looking pretty slim for him. The grenade goes in for the side of Benzo, the grenade won't hit anyone. But for now, I think he's gonna reposition and look for another place to of course, retaliate.
STL, they're down to two players left, and so Benzo will be disengaging from that fight, or would rather that be disengaging or repositioning. That's something we'll find out really soon. And Toxino, he's had the same idea. He's also rotating out of the area, but Benzo goes to a U-turn. There's a possibility, and it doesn't seem to be the case. They probably are disengaging, and so that will be the end for Stallion Esports' engagement against that other squad. But all the while, someone drowns actually. And so that's pretty worrying. And that is one elimination. One more team eliminated. That would be GOAT 2.0 wiped off from this map for now.
Mm-hmm. 14 teams alive and kicking right now, but it seems like we'll be getting a lot of action later on. Club Leon's still trying to spot them. Very risky to do that, especially if you get spotted if you're being aimed at right now. The shot's trying to connect and it did, leaving of course a little bit of damage right there. But for now, he'll have to move back and go for heal. And now they do have the information from the side of Zeron. They have an information for Club Leons, and they just have to aim the right shot, especially using their scope. Especially, it's a bit effective. But for now, it seems like we're getting a lot of action.
Yeah, Zeron trying to get those shots in against Club Leons, but it's not resulting into any knocks. But speaking of knocks, TTS Evox, they're finding their own engagement as well against CNS, and so one down on their side. But TTS Evox, they're not stopping just yet, throwing in some grenades, and that circle is slowly going to go against these two squads. And so with two different damage dealers going in for both sides, they have to worry about the squad that's going against them, and they also have to worry about the stage 4 circles. Sprays coming in, Kaizin goes down, and Titan is the last person, rather no, the second to the last person standing on the side of CNS. And so TTS Evox trying to get those sprays in. Jelly can't find the damage that he needs. All the while, CNS loses one of their players, but that goes the same with TTS as well. Lucy is already eliminated from that game. But it's not over just yet. TTS Evox versus CNS. Lucky, very low on health. Kaizin needed that revive. And so, this is still a 3-man team for CNS. And so, they have a good chance to survive this. But how long can they hold out?
Definitely, with the CNS bench team still looking for an opening. They do have a bit of a cover, but if they get caught, then it's gonna be game over for them. But while that was happening, seems like Whites spotted one and of course took him down, just trying to finish that and confirm that kill. And he does. Joker still finds another target right there, and of course. There, it seems like the Club Leons are on a move right now. 17 minutes into the game, 14 teams alive. We will be expecting a lot of engagements, a lot of action. But for side of Zeron, they will take one down. And now AKM Esports trying to fight back. The side of FZ, the grenade goes in, the smoke goes in, and he just gets down right there. Javi taking his time and of course aligning those shots, of course connecting and trying to take them down, and it's just gonna mark the elimination for FaZe.
Yes. DCM on face gets wiped off, but AKM's not over. It's not over for AKM just yet. They spot TTS Evox from a distance. They try to get those damage in, and TTS Evox, they have to worry about another squad nearby. And so it's just being stuck between the rock and a hard place basically for their side. TTS Evox, they're trying to get AKM down as well, but they also have to worry about the circle. They have to worry about moving in, trying to go into the safe zone. But Ahut over here needs that revive, and Bun Bun does get that opportunity. But for how long can they hold out? Lots of their players need some healing up, and AKM, they're not stopping anytime soon. They're putting on the pressure against TTS Evox. They want those eliminations, and sooner or later, once TTS Evox gets eaten up by that circle, AKM Esports might just get the kills that they need.
Exactly. For Kamikaze here, trying to look for an opening, and it's looking a bit risky for them if they get spotted. They have the lower ground right here, But it seems like from the off screen, we can see a lot of eliminations right there, and Crown will go down to the last 12 teams. Of course, the circle is getting smaller. We will expect a lot of action right now. The side of Velocity 9 as well. They get a down and they get a confirmed kill right there. Ending, of course, GNS. Still 10 teams remaining. Jelly trying to connect the shots inside the vehicle through it, and it seems like they go in trying to take him down, but in return, it seems like Jelly have eliminated them and just waiting for the rest of their teammates to go in and for the rescue in order for him to actually clean this one out. The Molotov gets him, however, leaves him in a very low health, and he will go down. That's gonna mark the elimination for TTS Evox.
Man, TTS Evox could not catch a break. They definitely could not catch a break at that point. Concept just swooped in, kind of wiped them out. But speaking of Concept, Mythic's the only one left still standing, but he does get 110 revived, and so that goes the same with Y9 as well. So there's a potential that they would still be a third three-person squad, but it might not be the same for V9 over here. Playboy is very low on health, and TPP needs that revive, but all the while they do have 5 eliminations to their name already. And once again, V9 is the top 5 so far in this group. And so there's a lot of good prospects going in over for Game Over Velocity 9. And so grenades coming in. STL, only one person left on their side. And this is a stage 5 circle, and everyone's just kind of congregating in the same area. V9 has a good location so far. They do have control over the buildings, and everyone else is kind of just in the open field trying to get those throwables
Lucky.
in the bag. And so, just taking a look at these last 8 teams, lots of knocks, lots of eliminations, but still, we're still down to 8 teams, and so lots of things are gonna happen very soon.
Velocity 9 looking good for their team right here. They got the houses right for just really in control for them. The other teams, though, they are kind of open, still depending on that grass. Rampage MV trying to get the shots in, and it's been a hit or miss. But for now, we're gonna have to wait and see. An elimination for the side of CNS will also go down. Now, of course, left with the last 17 remaining for game number 2, and now Rampage again spraying that down through the vehicle, but they will get no one. And of course, the rest of the teams right here still battling it all out. The circle is just getting smaller, so it's kind of unpredictable on who will win, but it's looking pretty good for Velocity 9.
Yes, Velocity 9 is getting a lot of damage in the bag against Rampage MV right now. And so, doesn't really find the knocks that he needs, but still, one after the other. Yes, we can see another and another elimination going into the side of V9. And so, this is looking good. This is looking good for their prospects. And they already have 9 frags to their name. Zeron gets completely eliminated all the while. And still, it's not over just yet. We're down to 5 teams. We're down to 5 teams, 13 players left standing in this Erangel map. Everything's gonna go down really fast now. We're down to the stage 6 of the circle. Playboy is down, but definitely V9 is doing quite well. And so, lots of confident things happening, but all the while AKM does go down as well. And Concept's still alive. Concept's still alive, so this is between V9 and Concept for now, in outside and inside of this building.
Definitely down to last 4 teams. Velocity 9, Concept right here using their grenades as well to their power, and it seems like they're just going straight for the push. Nami, of course, gets that down, but Concept still fighting them back. One goes down, and now Concept using the boulder right here to their advantage, just using them as their cover. Trillia also Win9 right here again, using a lot of covers and using grenades to get a lot of kills, especially that they're out in the open to be backed by V9. I mean, V9 right here, they're going straight into it. 3 times 110 is just dead, and it's just gonna be up to, of course, Concept, the last member right here. Pretty unfortunate that one has disconnected on their team, but for now, again, looking pretty good for Velocity 9, also for JNS. They are alive and kicking all of them, and it's Playboy right here going in. Of course, Concept will go down as the 4th team for this match, and now Playboy has exposed himself to a lot of area, giving of other teams a lot of advantages if they do fight him. But for JNS, they're chilling it out here, just waiting for the rest of this bloodshed to happen for them to come and clean it up.
Yeah, JNS was just on the sidelines between V9 and Concept, but now they are feeling the damage of V9. Luffy's down. He needs that revive, and that goes the same with Dagor as well. So Vampire coming into the rescue, hiding behind the smoke, and all the while we were speaking, Rampage goes down. So this is between V9 and JNS. JNS with 4 eliminations and V9 with 12 so far. V9 does have that momentum. They have the potential. They have that violence running through their veins. And so Playboy and Merit, they're trying to get those sprays in.
Oh,
Vampire very low on
again.
health. And Dagohor is down and needs that revive once again. And so Merit and Playboy, they're just on a hunt right now, trying to eliminate JNS off of the picture, but still with that one person down at the side of JNS, but he gets traded off as well. But Luffy gets one, and this will be the winner chicken dinner for JNS Elite for now.
And congratulations to this team. Once again, I keep on saying this a lot of times. Group 2 is really interesting. A lot of teams are showing up and really giving their all. Even in day 2, teams like these, JNS Elite, still trying their best to keep it up here, though they're at an overall rank of 13. They can still try if they do just really do their best for the next few games to actually even catch up. But for the other teams, it seems like they're now aware of the threat that JNS Elite possess. And with that in mind, they just have to be careful and really plan this out even properly. Especially that in a game where you know that all of your opponents are also good in their own ways, then that means you have to step up your game and you have to keep your spot.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised. I was like, wait a minute, it was JNS who won that last few kills. And so once again, JNS, congratulations for bagging that chicken dinner. They do get that 13th rank for the overall points. And so that's a good jump. That's definitely a good jump. That's great. They do get 10 placement points, and of course, they do get the eliminations that they need as well. But all the while, the MVP of that last game would have been Velocity 9's Merit with 6 whole eliminations and 500 damage done just all by themselves. And so, Velocity 9, they had a really good run in that first Erangel map, and definitely they need to get that momentum going on if they really want to secure their top 5 spot. But then again, they already have the top 5 spot. So if they keep this up, they definitely will be seen in the finals. But for now, the top players for this match 8, definitely second going to Kaizi, in third going to Viper, fourth with TH4KM9, and number 5 going in to V9's Aoi. And so these teams, they're doing quite well. They're definitely doing quite well. And despite not bagging the chicken dinner, V9 does get more total points with 19 points from this map, and as compared to JNS going in second with only 16 points. And of course, Rampage going in 12, CNS and Concept with 8, AKM with 7, Zero with 5, Crown and STL with 4 each. And so with the next half of the table, Leons and GNS, Soul and Evox, they all got 2 points, while DZM and Face, Goat and SQD each leave with 1.
And of course, with that in mind, we have now post match number 8, the overall rankings, with Concept still holding their number 1 spot right now. One more point to have that 3-digit point to be followed, of course. Game Over Velocity holding the second spot right now. Club Leons going for third, which they were previously second. For now, it will follow up with Go 2.0, and TTS Evox holds the current 5th spot. SDM Zeron will follow that with number 6. And of course, the other teams right here still, they do have a chance. But, they really have to bring up their A game now, especially that they got 4 more matches to go before they can actually be a part of the grand finalists.
Yes, they only have 4 more chances left. And this would be the last day that they can really try to land into the finals. And so there's a lot at stake for these 18 teams. There's a lot of stake, definitely. And speaking of which, the top players for these 18 teams amongst this group 2, definitely number 1 would still be going to 3x 110 from Concept. Number 2, still Bum Bum from Go 2.0. And Zeron, TH4KM9 will go on to get the 3rd place. And number 4 is Joker from Clubs Leon. And number 5 would be a new name, actually, SDZ's BU with a 12 eliminations to your name. Actually, this guy is from AKM Esports, and so that's a new name. And once again, that was the 2nd match for tonight. So, once again, this is Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4. We will be moving on to the 3rd match for tonight very later on, very soon. But for now, we will be taking a break. So, we'll be back in a few minutes, so don't go anywhere.
What is up, everyone? We are now back. Game 3. Later on, you will witness that once again. We are shoutcasters for tonight. I'm Mike, and with me is Annie. Now, two games. This is gonna be the second Erangel match for today, and today will also be the last day for all of these teams. Now, Annie, what do you think?
Yes, I'm actually thinking that we might potentially be seeing maybe two or three guaranteed teams that will walk into the
Mm-hmm.
finals. And, I'm pretty confident with Concept as well. They already have 99 points, just one more point before they cross the three-digit mark for the total points. And so, for those of you who are fans of Concept, I'm definitely with you. I definitely think and I'm confident enough to say that they will make it to the finals. But for everyone else, I'm sure Go 2.0 might have a chance as well. And also for some of these teams that are really consistent with their playstyle, I'm confident that we'll be seeing some of these few teams as well. Especially V9, they've had a good run so far. And so for back to the game, actually, we can see that we're already here in Erangel. We can see that the flight path is a little bit different from the first game. It's going in from Georgia Pool down to Milta, and so this should be fun. There's a lot of potential drop-off points for these 18 teams, and so they can kind of kick back and relax and try to go to their favorite places and loot those areas before eventually getting those vehicles and rotating into the first circle.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we're still gonna wait for the circle to show up in order to actually try to predict on how the game will end later on. But for now, it seems like the path for Erangel is really generous. It's a bit slanted, but it is equally divided into the center. And yes, here we go. The first circle goes in and favoring most of the island, which is again for me another considerate and generous um, position for all of these teams, and even with the last match, it was also quite generous, which will give them more freedom later on to actually gather resources, go and loot up, and everything is just gonna be there. But for now, for the side of STL, it seems like they got one grenade down right here, and Velocity 9 starting their bloodshed as well as early as 1 minute and 40 seconds.
That was pretty funny because Benzo actually self-grenaded themselves, so maybe that was a wrong click or something, but still, V9, they already find one elimination to their name, so that's a very, very good start. You can see from the leaderboards. And speaking of which, Rampage, MG's Viper, 1 versus 1, but none of them going down, however. On their side of the squad, they do need to revive one of their players, and so Rampage, they're not done just yet. Stallion Esports at a distance, trying to hunt down the members of STL, and Nape over there get those sprays on and knocks Zoro out, but still not resulting into any eliminations just yet, and so it's not over just yet. Rampage, MV, and STL, it's so early into the game, and 2 minutes into the game, I'm not sure if they even have the most ideal of guns just yet, and so they're gonna have to do with what they have right now. Lots of them don't even have that much healing items just yet, and so this is quite risky. There's a potential that one of these squads will be wiped out right now.
Mm-hmm, definitely Rampage, and of course STL. They will have to wait this out. Especially they're sharing a house right here, so it's just gonna be a battle of wits. If either they're gonna commit or they're just gonna move back. But for the rest of STL, Zoro is a bit farther from them, but he could be looking out from the back line.
Yes, and so we'll just have to watch and watch STL and Rampage and V rather, because over here Toxino has a pretty good spot going in for him, but not the most ideal of guns just yet. But still, this is a good spot, and he can potentially watch out for any information, give any information for his squad, and so we are a bit I'm still on the side of STL and a Rampage MV. Still, nothing much happening, and so there's a chance that these two squads will disengage for now. And so we're back to the quiet part of Erangel for now.
For now, so it's all good for them. Rampage, though, one of their members is very, very low in health. He only has a level 3 helmet, and it's gonna look pretty bad, especially just one more hit, and he goes down, especially if he doesn't get hit in the head. He doesn't have Kevlar and no grenades, no throwables, no bandages, nothing, and that's gonna be a difficult time for them. And I think it's just gonna be a game of patience right here.
Yes, and this is the pressure between Rampage and Stallion. They can't even loot the place up because they would potentially be giving out their locations and information. But over here, Rampage, it seems that something's cooking on their side. They're definitely making a lot of movements, and so there's a chance that they'll try to engage. But right now, Stallion, they're both actually both of these squads, they're playing it safe. They're not taking a huge risk, a huge jump and trying to push in just yet because I'm gonna expect that both of these teams, none of them have the best of gears or arms just yet, and so they're playing it safe. They're trying not to get picked off, and that's a good thing for them because none of them have picked off so far, and so it's just a waiting game for everyone involved.
For the side of Stallion right here, still nothing's happening though. Zoro just got tagged right there and he's gonna have to move back. And I think they're really taking their time here, but it could be disadvantageous for the team that would survive this bloodshed later on because they would be actually consuming a lot of their time to actually invest in an engagement like that. So it's gonna be risky later on, but for now, Zeron is also looking pretty good for them. The shots are trying to connect right there. He gets a down, and of course, still waiting to confirm that kill. But it seems like he has gone for cover, and now it seems like another kills have been in started right there. Another action is already happening with the side of Stallion, and it seems like from the Rampage MV versus Stallion, they've already started that, and now still left to the last member of Rampage MV, which is Nape right here, and we'll have to move back and we'll have to move away. But for now, another off-screen kill from the side of CNS.
Unfortunately for Rampage MV, Zeron became the third party in that area, and so STL, they do get away with their lives, but all the while it doesn't be the same case as RPG. Only Nape was alive, but all the while Ambitious finds their own skirmish as well against CNS. But both of these teams are outside of the circle, so they gotta decide whether they want to commit to this engagement or will they rotate out of this place, because it's not looking good, especially for CNS over here. Lucky going down, but he wins that 1 versus 1 against Opera, and so that's a one elimination in the bag. But it's not over just yet. There's still a lot of sprays going on, especially from the side of CNS, trying to get that confirmation on the side of Ambitious. But unfortunately, Ambitious, they're gonna have to disengage, definitely have to cut their losses, and so CNS, they'll have to do the same. They'll have to get out of that place in order to go into the play zone.
And with CNS bench team, they just have to move this one very carefully in order for them to get into the play zone very safely. But they don't have a lot of enemies for now around them, so they're pretty safe. But it seems like one of them is actually a bit farther from them, so they're just gonna have to group up with the rest of their team before they can move back.
Yes, that's definitely the plan, especially for everyone in this Erangel map right now. But we can see Siron's actually taking some damage against STL. And so STL, they have the numbers disadvantage, I believe. Or maybe this is a 3 versus 3 so far from what you can see from the map. Actually, this is a 4 versus 3. Zeron out in the open, however. And so STL does have the advantage of having a building, and lots of their players are spread out, and so it's not going to be easy for Zeron to pick them off. But all the while, Zeron, they do have the opportunity. I mean, they probably had the chance to loot. All the while, STL and Rampage MV didn't have any choice but to kind of have a standstill against each other. But all the while, SOL and FZ have their own fight all the while in this area over here. And Zerich is on the crosshairs of Shamatu, unfazed. And so we're trying to get those shots in, but Shamatu is also getting shot at. However, Zerich is the first to go down. And so Shamotu has the opportunity to heal. However, Zarek is still on the red, still has the opportunity to be revived. But however, with that location, he's at the top of the tower. It's not likely that he might get revived anytime soon.
Definitely. And for the other teams, it's looking pretty good for them. For all, I mean, we have to also observe the other teams that have been showing their potential. For Concept, one of their members is down, still not getting any kills for now, waiting for that revive. But while that was happening, it seems like Club Leon's right here getting a lot of kills for the side. At least, I mean, they're against Concept right now, so whichever team's gonna make this one out alive, it's looking pretty good for Leon's, especially that all of their members are alive. Joker's bit on the risky side though. He's very exposed. The grenade goes in. It will not kill anyone for now, but Choti preparing for an all-out attack right here with, of course, the rest of his team. Now they're actually dividing this one very equally, so this is gonna be good. It's again, I'm invested in how this will turn out, but it's looking pretty. I think they're very calm for now, just waiting for the right opportunity and the right opening. The grenades just getting exchanged from both of these teams, but nothing will happen.
Seems that Concept will be pushing in once again. We can see that Concept is being aggressive and Joker goes down and they reap the rewards of that risk. But however, Choti coming in with their own vehicle as well, trying to get those vehicle eliminations. Doesn't get any. Choti, however, gets shot at instead, gets punished. But however, that won't result into Choti's knock just yet. He survives that. All the while, Concept over here in trouble. Mythic needs to be revived. 2 healthy members left standing. Will they get that revive? That's something we'll find out now. But League Club Leons, it's not over for them as well. They're down to 2 players left, but Choti still putting those grenades in. However, it's just gonna do chip damage on the side of Concept. And so, White's over here, trying to find a good angle, trying to see if he can get any sprays in. But however, he won't find the opportunity that he needs. And so, between Concept and Club Leons, both of them will be trying to find a good opportunity. Choti, however, takes so much damage that he gets knocked off of this roof. And so, White, the last person standing on the side of Club Leons. He's gonna have to carry this against 3 people from Concept. And Concept, they're being violent right now and they take down Whites. And that would be the end of Club Leons for now.
Definitely. And it seems that in that engagement, Concept has made it out alive, giving them 2 kill points, and they could just be, they could actually be the winner chicken dinner later on. But they still have a lot of teams to fight as well. We have Velocity 9, we have the Gold 2.0, we have Evox. All of these teams, they're also doing their best. It's just gonna depend on which team are just gonna try to eliminate them, and if they actually do, then that's gonna be very, very impactful. Now it does look like Evox, they're also getting a few kills of their own, but with Concept right here, they're taking their time, especially that they have been discovered and they will probably be engaging in a fight later on with Gold.
Yes, Go 2.0. They are the third party, although they didn't catch up to Club Leons just yet. There's an opportunity here to be had. Still, Concept, they just got fresh out of an engagement against Club Leons, and so they should be quite low on resources. And so Go 2.0, there's a lot of chance that they could potentially get some pickoffs against Concept. And I actually observed since yesterday, Concept, they do like taking risks. They're usually the team that pushes when it comes to push and shove. And so, TTS Evox, all the while, they do get those shots in against Go 2.0. And with that vehicle elimination, there's 1 person down in Go Esports. So, TTS Evox, the 4th party in this situation. Bunbun goes down first. And so, 3 people left on the side of TTS Evox. They do get 1 person down. They get Bum down from the side of Goat 2.0. And so, grenades coming in. Lots of damage to be had. 2 people down on the side of TTS Evox need that revive. So, not looking good right here. This might be like a 2 versus 2. And so, with only 1 person left standing on TTS Evox, still, they managed to eliminate 2 Go 2.0 off of the picture, but you can see from a distance, GNS, they heard all this ruckus and they're gonna swoop in. They're gonna try to wipe out TTS Evox in this situation. And so this will just be a matter of whether GNS will be taking this engagement or will they be waiting for the right moment to strike.
And it's in a surprising turn of events in this game. It seems like the top teams have been eliminated, giving them a bit of a disadvantage to gather points, which would actually give more leeway for the other teams in the lower half to actually grab a chance to be the part of the finalist. But I think for now, DCM unfazed right here, getting a few downs of their own, just waiting to confirm that kills. But while that was happening, we will actually take a look at other teams. Crown, two members down. They just need some revive in order to actually fight back. But it seems like it's gonna be a difficult time for them, as now Saul has already went for the charge, trying to clean them up, and that's gonna be an elimination for the side of Crown.
That is one less team standing in this game. And so Seoul, they walk away with 3 eliminations to their name. And so that's a good thing for Seoul, definitely. They do get those early game points. We're still 15 minutes into the game, and so it's still a far cry from all the action, but all the while Juicebox versus Rampage. Rampage's last person standing, Nape, managed to survive so far, but he is getting shot by Juicebox. And so with the numbers disadvantage, he's gotta get out of there. Gotta into a safer spot inside the play zone. And so that's exactly what he's doing. All the while, Juice, they do still have all 3 people left standing. But our Rampage Nib gets a shot against Ambitious, gets 1 elimination despite being a solo player in this game. And so he's just hunting people. That is just getting that opportunity. He saw that opportunity to get at least 1 elimination to his name, and he takes it. And all the while, Javi gets knocked down. There's another engagement coming in against AKM Esports. And so taking a look at the kill feed, it's between JNS and Concept as well. So lots of things happening 16 minutes into the game. So we gotta keep our eyes peeled. There's a chance that there's a team that's gonna be eliminated really soon.
AKM Esports still waiting for heads to pop out before they can try to connect the shots. With Carlo here, the rest of their team are also prepared, I think, because they're gonna be in a lot of fight later on. This is just gonna be a place for a lot of bloodshed, especially that now for the side of Unfazed, Senpai going in, the down goes in, and the confirmed kill right there for the side of Concept. Now, Concept is caught in a pickle right here, and it's gonna be a hard time for them. I2 now still tries to fight back, takes 1 down, but he goes down as well. Y9 right here tries to fight back as well inside of smoke, using it to his advantage and cleaning, wiping them out unfazed. And now, Concept will win it once again with 7 kills in their bag, and now 2 members remaining.
Yes, and there's a lot of squads in this area, and so this might not be over just yet. Although Concept, they're very low on health. They definitely have to reset, and they can't just walk out of this building willy-nilly, because if they make a wrong move, they could get picked off. And so they gotta think about their survivability. And speaking of which, TTS Evox is in trouble. They lost 1 member to the knock, and so that goes the same with Ambitious. Actually, they're not doing well as well. Baby, the last person standing, is burning from Molotov, and Baby will be burning and going down, and that would be the end of Ambitious from the hands of TTS Evox.
And now down to the last 13 teams, 18 minutes into the game, and we might actually see a lot of kills later on, a lot of action. But for now, SOL will take it from here and will have to wait for the resurrection of his teammates in order for them to fight for another day later on. But for now, looking at other teams, squadrons, they do have the higher ground advantage right here. They can just scout for some enemies, try to take them down, but it does look like they have a lot of information for them teams.
Yes, and they need that information. And so far, Squadron's getting those shots in. It seems they find the damage that they need, but all the while, Saul also needs those eliminations and also needs to revive 2 of their players. But still, 68A, their crosshairs out. They're trying to get some eliminations in the bag as well. But all the while, speaking of eliminations, CNS goes down as the 4th I believe, sixth team to go down for this game. So lots of things are gonna happen really quickly. Squadrons has SDL on their crosshairs, gets Zoro down on the knock. Will that be a confirmation? That's something that needs to be answered. And that answer is yes. Isto bags that, no, rather, it's the side. It's another squad that does bag that elimination. Unfortunately, TTS Evox does get the elimination in the bag. Speaking of which, SOL does get wiped off from the map, and now we're down to 11 teams left.
Mm-hmm. With Evox right here, still trying to, of course, prepare for another fight later on, especially that they're being hunted. But now we do see some action. The grenade goes in, but now also from the side of SQD, one goes down, waiting for the confirmed kill right there, and it's gonna team elimination for the side of SQD. 9 teams remaining, another elimination as well for JNS, and still Evox looking for the best way possible to try to fight them back. But it does look like from the side of AKM Esports, the grenade goes in, trying to connect that and trying to take one of them before they can go in for the charge. But it seems that Kamikaze has been answered with another grenade, and we will have to suffer a lot of damage from that.
Lots of things happening in this building, in this church right here, because there are several squads just congregating, and over here AKM with their vehicles trying to find a good angle, but unfortunately GNS will be getting those shots in, and that would be a knock on the side of Javi. That will be a confirmation in a few bullets, but unfortunately PUBGS, they have to worry about the other squads coming in because AKM is also at the distance. GNS giving that chase. One after the other, people go down. That's 19 players left standing. And so with that vehicle elimination, we're down to 17 players left. 16 now with a knock on Potato. Will that be a confirmation? That will be answered very soon. And so with that, AKM gets completely eliminated out of the picture. But so far, it's not over just yet. GNS, they're trying to get those damage and they're trying to get those sprays in, and TTS Evox is on his crosshairs, and so far no one's going down just yet, but for now STL does get eliminated off, and we're down to the top 6 teams.
Top 6 teams for group stage number 2, and later on we'll have to witness 3 more matches to decide on who will actually proceed to the finals. But for now, looking at it, Velocity 9, they're all out in the open, just using a couple of rocks and of course their vehicles to cover them from a lot of damage that will show later on. But for now, for Zeron, still hiding behind the box as well. The rest of the other teams also looking for an opening. Rampage MV putting himself out there could be very risky if he gets spotted, but he spots an enemy right there. I wonder if he will commit to that, especially it will reveal his location. But the play zone, the danger zone is also contributing, giving them a lot of damage. TTS Evox doing a lot of kills right now. The down goes in, and we'll have to confirm that now. Carlos still from the side of GNS still gets inside the play zone, tries his best to win it for the team, especially that he's gonna be the last member standing for their team before they get eliminated. But while that was happening, it's gonna be a rampage for the side of TTS Evox. Concept will go down as the 6th team, and now down to the last 4 teams with RPG being eliminated and taking that 5th place. For now, TTS Evox once again taking another kill, and JNS will have to be eliminated down to the last 3 teams. Zeron with 12 eliminations, very impressive, still alive and kicking for all of these members, and they will have to face against Velocity 9's last member and Evox with 2 members remaining.
7 players left standing in this stage 7 circle. This is an open field, and so this will be really fun. This will be a really fun last few minutes of this Erangel game. And so Zeron, with so much going on for their team, they have that momentum. They have 12 eliminations, and all the while they have all 4 players left standing in their roster. All the while, TTS Evox over here, although they do have 2 players, still they have a good chance of surviving. All the while, V9 at a corner, Merit the last person standing on their squad. They just gotta keep themselves alive, and then perhaps just wait for TTS Evox and Zeron to go against each other to try to pick each other off. But the grenade will go in. Will that hit Bun Bun? That question would be yes, but Bun Bun doesn't get eliminated just yet. But however, TTS Evox, one
Ooh,
person
Velocity
killed
Merit.
down. Jelly getting hit by Merit V9. They're saying just because I'm a solo player doesn't mean I can't get any eliminations of their own. But however, that circle's gonna eat them up, and so it's not a good chance for survival. And with that, that will be the end of V9 taken out. And so, this is between Zeron and TTS Evox now. Bun, the last person standing, throws in a grenade, takes a lot of damage, and with that, that would be the end of TTS Evox with the chicken dinner going on to Zeron for tonight.
Hmm. And with that, Zeron again taking another chicken dinner right here. Number three, and moving them to the number three spot. And of course, again, it's another team has shown up, be bringing their A game, and it looks like Zeron could be just the part of the finalists. Still, three more games before we confirm that, but it's looking good for all of them. Zeron, we have shown they have shown their potential. They've also played and performed for the last since yesterday and now. But for now, match summary from match number 9, still 62 eliminations, 72 knockouts, total of almost 10,000 healing, 5 grenade eliminations, which is again expected for a map like Erangel, and a vehicle elimination, which we just witnessed a while ago.
Yes, and actually, Zeron managed to go on and sweep up the top three spot. And so that's just saying that there's a lot of chances that you will be overtaken if you get complacent in this group stage. And so once again, the MVP does go on to Concepts Y9 with 8 whole eliminations all by himself and damage of 931. Very impressive coming in for Y9, and that's just gonna put a lot of points for the side of Concept. And of course, number 2 will go to TTS's Jolly with 6 eliminations for this game alone. And coming in third is Zeron's Madara with 5 eliminations, and fourth would be Concept's I2E with 3 eliminations, and number 5 will go to Zeron's TH4MK9. Oh my gosh, I definitely do not know how to pronounce his name, but all the while, this is the match rankings. For Zeron, with the chicken dinner, he does get 24 points in total for this game. Coming in second is TTS Evox with 18, Concept with 14 coming in next, V9 with 8, GNS with 6, RPG and Soul both having 5, DZM Unfaced having 4, and STL with 3. That's the first half of the table. And so coming in with the top number 10 would be AKM with 2 points, and Lots walking away with 1 point. Ambitious Clubs Leon, CNS Go 2.0, and JNS. And for the last 3 squads with 0 points, they gotta step up. They gotta step up if they want a chance to get into the finals.
And there we have it, our overall rankings. Concept still maintaining their number one spot with 113 points and could actually be securing their spot for the finals. Now to be followed as well with Velocity 9 with 84 points and Zeron with 82. Of course, DTS Evox still holding that 80 points, and Club Leons with the 68 currently holding the fifth spot, and it's looking pretty bad for him, especially that all the other teams could actually catch up now with Go 2.0 with 67 points and AKM Esports with 54. And Club Leons, we have seen them a while ago. They were at number 2, and now they're slowly being pushed back by all of these teams. And there we have it. Of course, the other half of the remaining half of all these teams as well, with a lot of points, but still they will need to do a lot. But it's almost, it will actually take a miracle at this moment for them to catch up. Still, they can destroy a lot of momentum, a lot of tempos from all of these teams. But for now, there we have it. And also for the top players, again, that's Concepts 3x110, the same as always, to be followed by Bum Bum from the side of Goat and Zeron's TH4KM9.
Yes, and actually a little bit worrying for Club Leons and Go 2.0. They are slowly getting pushed away from the top 5. And of course, we're seeing some really good emerging teams trying to get their place into the top 5. And so, pretty happy for these teams. They are doing really consistently in this day 2. And so, we might be seeing a whole different roster of teams coming in for the placement points for finals. And so that's something we'll find out really soon. But for now, we will be moving on to the next part of this tournament after a short break. Once again, we are back to Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4. This is Group 2's second day, their last chance. And so once again, we are your shoutcasters. My name is Annie, and tonight with me is Mike. Mike, what did you think about that previous match?
Well, very deserving win for them, especially. And once again, I really love this group, especially that there are just a lot of teams that have been trying their best to keep their number one spot, to keep their second, third, fourth, and the fifth spot, which they will be moving to the grand finals. And once again, it's looking pretty dangerous for the side of Club Leons, especially that now they're at the fifth spot and they could be surpassed just even in just a few points by the other teams. But for now, they still have the last chance for Erangel before we proceed to two Miramar matches later on. And for now, I think it's pretty biased on the left side, and on the bottom side, still we're gonna wait for the circle if this makes it even better.
And I'm really excited to find the conclusion of this Group 2's stage because honestly, V9 just suddenly overtook so many ranks and eventually landed themselves on the top two of their leaderboards. And of course, Concept is still quite far from being overtaken, but there's a possibility if V9 continues on this momentum of theirs, there's a chance, and especially if Concept does get picked off early on in these last three maps, there's a possibility. There's a possibility, and of course, Zeron coming into third place. That's also a surprise because they just managed to overtake the likes of Club Leons and Go 2.0, and so they've been pushed off the top four spots, and so of course top five will go to Club Leons. But how long can they hold up in that place?
Mm-hmm. For now, for the rest of their teams, still back into the game. I mean, there have been a lot of bloodshed, but it's not yet enough. Still, we're gonna wait for the confirmation, especially with Rampage looking kind of slim for them, especially down to the last two members remaining. Crown with three, and the rest, of course, JNS with three, and Juice. The rest of the team still alive and kicking with four members, and it seems like some of the teams are still trying to land with ambitious right here, looking for their place. Still kind of far.
Not sure if Rampage and JNS and Crown went into the game with an incomplete roster, but all the while there's a lot of trouble going into Juice Box. They're losing players one after the other, and this might potentially be their wipe off. This might be their end, but all the while, First Blood does go in. And so that must have been, yes, definitely Rampage probably came into the lobby with only two players. And so that was a numbers disadvantage from the start. And so over here, SQD does bag two eliminations against Juice. And so it's going well for them so far. It's going well, and it's so early on to the game. It's not even 3 minutes. It's not even 3 minutes into the game, and so if they ride on this momentum, there's a possibility that they might get their second chicken dinner for tonight.
And yes, not now. Juice has been eliminated. The rest of their teams have also the chance right here, especially that the game has already started, and it seems like there have been some motion that has already been set. So for now, still with the rest of the teams, along with Go 2.0 right here, just gearing up, and especially that now they have a bit of a more space, and still just preparing, and before they can actually go for engagements later on.
Yes, and that's the plan. They have to prepare in this early game because we actually saw in the previous game there were two squads that couldn't even loot because they knew that there was another team standing by just waiting for them to make a mistake and get shot down. So they couldn't loot, and so it was really going bad for them. So for those teams that have the opportunity to loot right now, they have to do something. But all the while, CNS does get shot out by Javi, and Javi does find some damage against them. But all the while, CNS is also not faring that well because Lucky and Kaizen need that revive, and Titan over here is hiding behind the crates because he's the last person standing, and all the while he has to go against members of AKM, and all the past him, and he gets a knock on his side, and so Titan gets one elimination to his name, and so he got shot at, however, with that revenge kill, and so that would be the end of CNS for this map.
Marking their end, CNS, we have seen them perform, but it does look like their journey for this match have been cut short, and now being that 17th team for this match, still two more games before they try their best to be a part of the top five teams to move into the finals. It does look like, looking very, very slim, especially that now two more games, but still 13 points. It will not be enough for them to reach the top five.
Yes, and it has to go on to their favor because this is the third to the last chance for these 18 teams. They gotta do something, especially for those who haven't secured their spot in the top 5 just yet. And so the goal for this group stage is to qualify for the finals. Maybe not so much worry about getting that top 1 spot, but it definitely helps. But still, getting into the finals is what matters right now. And so for Concept over here, speaking of which, they do have 113 points to their name, and that's triple digits. And coming in second, still V9 with only a. That goes the same with Zeron and Evox for the top 2 to 4 spots. And so, Concept, although they can't be complacent, they still have a really good chance of basically being undefeated from the top 1 spot. And so for V9 and Zeron, they have to work extra hard in order not to be overtaking, because over here, top 5 and top 6, Leons and Goats, although they're 10 points away from Evox on the top 4, there's still a chance that they could overtake them and potentially secure a spot in the top 5.
Mm-hmm. Securing that top five, especially for all of these teams, the best course of action for them is to really just maintain their spot. Club Leons, they will have to do more than that in order to really just make sure that they are secured in the top five spots to go to the finals. The rest of the teams with GOAT, with AKM, they will have to do more, especially more than Crown, more than Leons, to actually catch up for them. The other teams with Crown, with STL, still a bit farther from the top five, but they will have to do more than that. Go 2.0 spots. That leg right there goes inside and goes to goes for the kill, but he goes down, just waiting to confirm that one. The grenade goes in order, but of course he will have to hide that grenade. Will follow through as well, and they exploded. Bum still getting hurt from that. The grenade will be avoided, still getting the damage, putting himself out to the open right there, still looking for a way, dodging all of the bullets right there, but he will have to face two of the enemies. But he will go down, and now for the side of SOL, one member is down from them, the other is also waiting for that revive, and it seems like Go 2.0 has already taken that space.
So this is a chance for Go 2.0 to show us all what they are made of, Sol. They have lost one player, and Zarek needs that revive. And so for Joy Boy and the 68A, I don't think there's a chance of reviving Zarek for now because he's in a horrible position. Go 2.0 has him surrounded, and they're just waiting for Sol to make a mistake and try to go out into the open space and try to get Zarek. And all the while, Zarek over here, very low in health. It's just a matter of time before he gets completely eliminated by the hands of Code 2.0. But Cherry over here, going in for the push, trying to go aggressive, trying to get this engagement in the bag. And so, Joyboy does take the risk and tries to revive Zarek, but with only such a sliver of health left, I don't know if they can have that. So, it seems that Zarek will be seeing another day for now, but Go 2.0, they are out there trying to hunt down the last few members of their squad, but all the while, TTS Evox also finds their own engagement against STL, and so this is a standoff for now. Not much happening on the kill feed, but we can see some grenades coming in between TTS Evox and another squad, and so who will be going down? That's the question. Lucy is already down, gotten knocked off, and Toxino, that goes the same as well for the side of STL. And so that was a 1-for-1 trade, and it's gonna be a lot of here on out. Zoro over here bombarding the building where TTS is, but loses that 1 versus 1 with grenade in hand and caught off guard. And now, with that last bullet going in against STL, that is their complete elimination for this game.
Still getting eliminated right there. It gives GOAT another chance right here to fight this one out, especially that they're chasing the remaining members of SOL. Zarek right here still waiting, looking for an opening, looking to actually get some off-angle kills. The grenade tries to connect from the Molotov. They try to land, but he shows up right there and he goes down. Still getting eliminated by Bomba before he goes in for the heal. And that was really unfortunate timing for now. 68A right here still tries to fight back, but is very, very low in health. He has to recuperate this one before he tries to fight back. The grenade once again trying to connect here into the rooftop, and Joy Boy goes down, still waiting for the rest of his teammates. 68A, which is actually isolated as well. It's gonna be very, very hard. He shows up to the party, tries to connect the shots, but it's looking pretty bad for him, especially that he's been spotted. And one more peek, he will go down. He still tries to peek once again, tries to reposition, goes in for another off-angle kill, still tries to do that, but in the end, they will have to be eliminated from the side of SOL.
So, Go 2.0 lives to see another day with the elimination of that last squad. And so, we're back. We're definitely back. Go 2.0 manages to get the top 5 spot with those last few eliminations. And so, they have kicked Club Leons off of the top 5. And so, Club Leons, they gotta do something in order to regain their spot in the top 5. All the while, speaking of which, Zeron over here, they are rotating into a better spot, into a better location. They do have their vehicles and they're all separated into 4 different cars. And so, that's going well for them, but there's a chance they might run into someone, and we'll definitely know that once they get shot at. For now, it seems that they don't have the engagement that they need just yet. But they do have 2 eliminations to their name, and so it's going quite well for them.
Mm-hmm. So for now, at this point, the side of Club Leon still trying their best to get a lot of kills and get that chicken dinner in order to be part of the top 5 finalists later on. But for now, the grenade goes in, but he gets spotted right away. Whites will try to dodge that, goes for the prone, and leaves, of course, the grenade hurting and giving a lot of damage. Of course, leaving that enemy with a very low on health. Joker will follow that with another grenade, but it won't hit. And now he has fully recuperated, just waiting for a little bit more of health before he can fight back. But the grenade just keeps on showing up, and just one more hit, he goes down. But Joker gets spotted right there. The taps go in, and they will have to reposition, and that's gonna be an elimination for the side of Crown.
And Joker's taking a lot of damage here. One more HP, and he's gonna go down. Good thing he survives all of that. Went to hell and back on the HP bar, and Choti over here just has a really great position, just trying to see if he can get some information, get some moving target from a distance. But so far, they won't be finding any potential targets just yet. And so, Club Leons, they're out of the woods for now. They're definitely out of the woods for now, and they can't find an engagement that they need. And so, this is an opportunity for them to either rotate out of the area or, reset. And seems that they will be getting out of that area for now. Perhaps secure another location where the circle will be.
For now, the rest of the teams as well, we have to look for their condition, their state, their statuses. Concept still alive and kicking, but 0 kills to their name, to be followed by V9 with 1 kill and Zeron with 2 kills. So still leading that second and third rank respectively. Now, of course, Evox are here. We can see them just, they don't have enemies around them, so that's pretty good for them. But off-screen kill for the side of DCM unfazed, and it does look like they're still trying their best to hold on and to really try their best to reach the top 5. But in this one, Ambitious still falls down, and of course, another elimination right there for their team.
So we're down to 11 teams left standing in this final Erangel match of this group stage. And so for the teams that do well in Erangel, they gotta step up and try to get as much points as possible, because this will be their last chance in this map, and we will be moving on to 2 Miramar maps later on. And so those teams that shine in that map, they have their opportunity. But for now, speaking of which, opportunity for Rampage MV to bag more points, but all the while it goes the same to GNS as well, because they are bombarding Rampage's area right here, trying to get a lot of damage in the bag, trying to get those eliminations for themselves. And all the while, Rampage MV, again, they did come into the lobby with only 2 players and so already on the numbers disadvantage. What can they do against 3 players from GNS? Now, Rocket being bombarded and getting pushed into that building. 3 versus 1. This is not good for the side of Rocket, but however, GNS, they move the goalpost, trying to push into where Mia is, and Mia will be going down. There's a confirmation, and now Rocket is left all alone in this building, and it seems that GNS is not stopping anytime soon. They're looting that building, but they walk completely past by him. And slowly, Rocket's gonna lose a lot of health from this circle, and so it seems that GNS will be rotating out for now. It might seem like GNS won't be trying to get Rocket's head, and so Rocket will be out of the woods for now, and so he'll have to decide whether or not he's gonna rotate out of there or he's just gonna stay and try to heal himself up for now.
11 teams right here and almost 16 minutes into the game, and still other players are risking it in the danger zone right here. Zone, of course, it's the damage is already there, it's already present. And I think the players are starting to get complacent for the side of Rampage MV, though he is the last member standing here. But still, I think he's just going for the placement points and maybe just go for cleanups later on. But for now, I think he's just making sure that he's the last member in this area before they will move, before he moves to another location.
Rocket does find the opportunity to rocket out of there, but he does need to heal. Still, with 6 healing items in his bag, it's a good opportunity. But now he has that opportunity to rotate out of there. But now INS Squadrons does find their engagement, and so against AKM, they get some eliminations in the bag. They have 3 in fact, but all the while Go 2.0, they finally find another footing, they finally find another location, and they do have 5 eliminations to their name. And so going in to Velocity 9, the sudden dark horse of this group stage, bagging the top 2. They are getting shot at. Now he is in a car that's smoking, so he's gotta get out of there soon enough. But for now, it seems that they have spotted INS Squadrons and Leon's Club Leon's rather. They're also in the vicinity, and so this is a potential engagement between the two. Now he gets ran over, and one person down on the side of V9 or.
And for now, Club Leon still trying to fight their way into the top 5. Again, just making sure that they make it out of here alive, especially that they've been put out in the open. They try to fight back here with Whites, but while that was happening, AKM will go down as the 11th placer for this match. Now Whites again very exposing himself to a lot of teams, and it's just gonna be at this moment before he gets eliminated. He is actually isolated from the rest of his teammates. For now, Squadrons also taking their time, playing this one very patiently, but while that was happening, seems like someone from GNS there gets killed. And again, back into the game right here with Squadrons against Club Leons. It's just gonna be a game of dodgeball as Jay just exchanged a lot of grenades. The shots goes in against the side of DCM and Phased, but the shot won't connect, and they just really went in for cover while they tried to heal and maybe reposition.
And this is a nice little party going in the stage 5 circle. Lots of people going down, and we're down to 9 players left standing and 9 teams left in the game. Concept, they need to revive 2 of their players, although they still have a chance of becoming a 4-man squad later on, and they do get those revives in the bag. And so they walk in and they're ready for more engagements to come. And so going in for Go 2.0, look at Bomb's eliminations. 7, in fact. 7 whole eliminations in just 1 game, and we're only 15 minutes into the game. So that's absolutely crazy for Bum. But all the while, Rampage does get picked off, and surprisingly, with only 2 players in their roster, they managed to survive this long, and so that's a good thing for them. But All the while, Go 2.0 Bomb Bomb finding his 8th elimination. Will he get a 9th? That might be possible. He's spraying at V9 from a corner, and V9, they're preoccupied with INS squadrons. And so this is a good opportunity for Bomb Bomb. He's just getting those sprays and getting that damage in. And V9, they're in trouble as well. They are on a red. Needs that. But Playboy, he's got his attention split between going for the engagement and trying to revive his last player. INS Squadron, however, they got a reposition. And they run
Oh,
into
it was him.
Leon Strip. He's getting shot at. But unfortunately, they don't get the knock that they need. And so, for this reposition, INS Squadrons definitely has the opportunity to get out of there and reset.
And with that, squadrons making their move once again, going in to reposition themselves before they invest in this fight. But for now, the rest of the teams are in the pickle right here. Velocity 9 Merit healing himself up with the side of Goat as well. They're all pretty healed up, and they got the advantage in the house right here and waiting for Merit to come out of there. The shots trying to connect, leaving Merit in very low health remaining. But of course, the danger zone, it's starting to hurt at this point, so they have to move into the play zone. And of course, that would mark the elimination for Velocity 9 now. Unfazed, still trying to fight them back, even though he's in a disadvantage, using the smokes to his advantage right here and isolating the enemies. But that all that was happening, 3x, 110 right there, gets another down, just waiting to confirm that kill. And TTS Evox also, at least they're in a good spot right here. They have a higher advantage, but they're gonna have to contest this later on against Concept.
We're still down to 7 teams still left standing, and Jelly is just trying to get those sprays in against Tata from DCM Unfazed. And so he won't find the knock just yet, but sooner or later he will find the elimination that he needs. So Tata does reposition, gets healed up, but all the while these are other members that are in trouble right now. Go to 2.0, they lost 2 players already, and Zeron over here, they're also in trouble. But all the while, Concept is still alive, Zeron's still alive, TTS Evox and Goat also still alive. The Squadrons and FZ as well, that goes the same for them. But Zeron, they are bombarding the TTS Evox, and Jelly does go down, and it's up to Bun Bun to carry the rest of their team because he's the last person standing. If they manage to get Bun Bun, this will be over for TTS Evox. All the while, those grenades are just doing its job, taking Jelly down, taking his damage one after the other. And so one more good explode. This might be the end of TTS Evox. But speaking of end, that would be the end of QD, however. And that circle's just eating everyone up. We're down to 4 last teams. This is between Evox, Concept, Zeron, and FZ. And with those sprays coming in, this might be the end of TTS Evox. And with that last bullet on Bun Bun, we are down to 4 teams with Evox out of the picture.
With that in mind, 4 teams remaining, Unfazed, Evox, Concept alive with 3 members remaining, Zeron with also 3 but 1 very low. Now Senpai tries to fight them back, goes in for the couple sprays, hoping the shots are going to connect, but it doesn't look like, as it's not enough to take 1 down. But for now, Senpai is out in the open, just using the cemeteries to cover for him, and now the rest of the enemies are looking good, especially with Concept and Zeron. Evox again with 1 member remaining. Senpai again going for a couple of sprays, but shots are not enough to take 1 down. And still, it's just gonna be a game of patience right here, and just of course they have to wait for the danger zone to actually shrink. But for now, looking good for Zeron as well, with 2 members remaining. But it looks like the chances are looking good for the side of Concept, and it does look like, I think they will probably get this chicken dinner, as Evox will have to be eliminated. Unfazed as well, Senpai exposing himself as he tries to get into the play zone, but he goes down, and waiting for the last member right here. And Horo just waiting, looking for a very good opening as he tries to fight back with a grenade. And while that was happening, Zeron will take another kill as well. Now, domination for their team. Unfazed still with their last member, just hoping to get and to engage in the third party in fight later on, but it does look like Concept and Zero are just fighting it already right here, and they got eliminated. Now Concept is just gonna be chasing here, making sure that Unfazed will get eliminated right here, and Huro still wants to fight back against the remaining team from Concept, and the grenades are already going in, but he's slowly moving away to try to reposition.
And now, Concept's prospects of bagging this chicken dinner is quite high because DCM unfaced. They only have one player left standing, and Mythic over here is putting the pressure on the last person on DCM unfaced. And so Y9 will be trying to get that crate in the bag, and Edhuru, he doesn't have a lot of choices. He's getting surrounded by the last three
Ooh.
members of Concept. And so with these
Ooh.
last few seconds of the game, will he get run over? It's not enough. That damage was not enough, and Eduro at 1 versus 1. But however, with that last kill, Concept finally puts a grave on the same unfaced name, and now they bag that winner chicken dinner, the last Erangel map for tonight.
Concept grabbing another winner chicken dinner still proves to them that they will hold onto this number one spot, and they have no plans of giving it to another team.
Yes, and I agree with you right there. Concept is just breaking him so much points. And Y9 over here with 655 damage. And of course, the kills between these players, they're pretty spread out, and they have all the more contributions, equal more or less contributions to their team. And so congratulations once again for Concept for such a consistent playstyle all throughout this game. Pretty much the only team that crossed the three-digit mark so far for the total points. And once again, I'm pretty confident to say that they'll probably make it to the finals later on. So we're down to two last maps. And so once again, for the MVP of this game, we have to go 2.0's Bum Bum with 8 whole eliminations before getting eliminated himself.
Mm-hmm. And an impressive 1,442 damage to add up to his profile. It could be another top player right here, but again, congratulations to Go 2.0's Bum Bum, and of course, Concept being that chicken dinner. But for now, top players for this match to be followed as well by Ghosty from the side of SQD, and also Wainan from the side of Concept, Seron's Madara as well, and PUBG Kiss right here from the side of course, their team. And I think it's at this point that we have to give them credit, especially that they're doing a lot of this. But of course, in this match, with the 19 points for the first for the chicken dinner, which is Concept. So with that, I think there's nothing really that's happening aside from Go 2.0, which they have been garnering a lot of points as well, even though they got eliminated pretty early.
Yes, and looking at the match rankings right now, lots of these teams, they do need to step up, especially those on the second half of this table, because once again, there are two more matches left. There are two more chances left for these 18 teams to really put their name into the top five and eventually qualify for the finals. And so, lots of pressure coming in, especially since the top five is Go 2.0 with 81 whole points. And for those lower than that, they gotta work extra hard to overtake that. Especially for DCM Unfaced going in the top 8, they have to like double their points basically in the next few games. And so of course Concept still bags that number one spot and puts a very big gap between them and Zeron, who actually overtook into the top two spot at taking Velocity 9 out into the top 4. And of course, CTS Evox with 90 points as well bags the third place. And so of course, these five teams so far, we have to look out for them, but Club Leons isn't so far off. They're 72 points in, and so with just one or two more good games, if they just pull off this Miramar map really well, they might be able to regain their spot in the top 5 and eventually qualify finals. But that's something we'll find out later on. And so, crossing our fingers, hoping for the best for these teams.
And with that in mind, we are now down to the last two matches for group number 2, and at this point, groups ranked 6 to 9 teams right here. They just have to do their best and they really hope that they can be a part of the group 5, which again is a very interesting group considering that there are a lot of different plays from different teams, and it's really a matter of who will get to the top 5, which I think Club Leon's still holding onto that and try to defend that while the other teams are trying to take them down.
Yes, and that's a plan. That's really the plan right now. It's just try to overtake the top 5 and go into the finals, qualify into the finals. And of course, there's only so little time left for these 18 teams, and so they gotta work extra hard. But looking at the top players, we can see pretty much the same names, and lot of eliminations coming in for just one person, especially Bum Bum and 3x110 from Go 2.0 and Concept basically just putting so much eliminations to their team's name. And so once again, congratulations to the chicken dinner winner, to Concept, for winning once again and basically just defending their title as the number again. That was our last Erangel map. We'll be moving on to later on, but for now we'll be taking a short break. So for those of you tuning in, don't go anywhere. We'll be Once again, we are back to the Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4. This is the final day for the group stage of the number 2 group. And so, once again, we are your casters for tonight. My name is Annie, and tonight will be Mike. Mike, what's up?
Definitely with that, Annie. Thank you so much for that. Once again, of course, we are now down to the last two matches. With that in mind, there's just gonna be one thing I'm expecting. Concept holding their number one spot. That's just gonna be enough at this point. The other teams, however, they will do their best to maintain the remaining spots of the group two, which will actually move later to the finals.
Yes, and hopefully we can see that really soon. Who will be moving on to the top 5? But for now, this is Miramar, our first and final two maps for this group stage. And so that flight path is gonna go on from the eastern side of Miramar going up to the ruins on the northwestern side. So a lot of the southern part of Miramar will probably go untouched for now, unless the circle will actually go down maybe in the southwestern part. That would be a little bit of a hassle for these 18 teams. But if the game says so, then there's nothing we can do. And so we'll just have to wait to see what's gonna happen next.
For Miramar at this point, last two chances for all of these teams. I mean, not really all, especially this is just the last chance to secure the top spots, but it does look like it's a little bit biased on the southern side. So this will put a disadvantage on those teams that are going to the north, especially to maybe Tierra Bronca or Campo Militar. It will probably look disadvantageous because they will have to travel a lot. But aside from that, it's probably looking good for most of these teams, especially to those that are still planning to land because they might have changed their plans. And once again, they just have to gather points and hope for the rest that they're gonna belong to the top 5, which will move to the finals.
Yes, and so this marks the start of our first Miramar map for tonight. So these teams, if they don't run into any other squads very early on and they don't get that early game engagement, still have all the time in the world to just loot these places up. They loot their drop off points, get all those gears, get all those arms, get all those guns in the bag before eventually securing some vehicles and rotating into the southwestern part of Miramar where the circle's eventually going to close into. So there's a lot of perhaps open spaces, but there's also still lots of buildings in that area. And so it's just something that we'll have to wait and find out later on. So these teams will have a good time, or maybe they'll have a time trying to rotate into the area into the open fields. It's still early on, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Exactly, and I think with all of these teams right here, with Club Leons, I'm really invested on how they will conclude as a group, on maybe if they will still hopefully get back into it, or maybe they will get surpassed. I mean, it's looking good, especially that now they're on the fourth spot, but still, two games isn't something that you can be complacent about. And with that in mind, I think Club Leons will just have to do their best from now on, and just make sure that they keep that number 4 spot.
Yes, and Club Leons, yes, I'm definitely a bit worried for their side. But all the while, TTS Evox finds their first engagement against GNS. So some shots going in, one knock on the side of GNS. However, they still have the opportunity to revive PUBG Cast. But however, Lucy has something else in mind. Throw some grenades, trying to get some damage in the back. He won't find the elimination that he needs just yet. Lahut also bombarding the area of GNS, but so far no one's going down just yet. And all the while, DCM on Face also finds their own engagement as well. But it's not over just yet for DCM on Face and their other squad as well. But TTS Evox watching out for GNS, trying to get some potential pick-offs. But for now, they'll just have to wait and see if they can get some more information before really committing into this engagement.
And for the side of TTS Evox, I mean, it's looking pretty risky for them since they're gonna be sharing an area, but now the first blood will go as well to Unfazed. And now the rest of the team are still, I mean, it's looking pretty good for them. And, they just have to confirm that kill before they can claim that. But again, in talking about Unfazed, they have shown a lot of progress as well. But they have to do more. They have to really do more in order to remain into the top five, to even claim into that. But for now, teams like TTS Evox spots GNS right here and hoping to take them down, but they just have to be careful, especially that maybe another member from their team will have to take them down. And the rest of that, I mean, talking about Lahut, he's actually um very isolated to the group. So with that, he has to be very careful, or else he's gonna have to die.
Yes, and GNS and TTSE Fox, no progress so far on their engagement, but there's some bullets coming in. PUBG Cass gets picked off by the hands of Jelly, and that will be the first elimination on this engagement. And so, one person down on the side of GNS. They have the numbers deficit. So TTSE Fox, there's a chance that they might go a little bit more aggressive on their side. Lucy over here trying to line up their shots against Carlo, but Carlo will be behind that wall for now. And so Carlo actually peeks, and so Lucy had a real bad time. But this is their opportunity. One
Ooh.
versus one, building versus building. Carlo very low on health, but manages to survive. He has the opportunity to heal. And so Lucy will be trying again, trying to get that peek in the bag. And so Carlo, just one wrong move. Just one wrong move, and Lucy might be able to get this kill. Bun Bun, however, walking into the area, trying to push in, trying to get that kill in the bag. All the while, Lucy puts a lot of pressure on Carlo. Carlo can't peek willy-nilly because if he does, he'll get his head blown off. And so Bun Bun walking in the open area, trying to find a skill of his own, but all the while, it's still not over between Carlo and another member from TTS. That would be Lucy. And so, this will be a standoff, but there isn't much progress just yet, and so we'll just have to wait. We're back to a standstill between these two teams.
And they actually probably have to um, end this as soon as possible in order for them to loot the other remaining item or the equipment that they have to before they move on to the next area, because the danger zone is actually now against them and they will have to do their best to actually move away from this. And it seems like one of the members from TTS gets spotted right there. They try to fight back, leaves with low HP remaining, but now the rest of the TTS, Lucy cleaning them all up, and it's gonna be the first elimination for this match.
And each of the members of TTS Evox, they do get one elimination each. But however, they're getting eaten up by that stage 1 circle. And so they gotta get out of there soon enough. They have what they came for. They have their 4 eliminations. And so they can go out and move into a safer spot. And so that's exactly what AKM is doing as well. They're about 100 meters away from the circle, and so they'll be safe soon enough, but they'll have to secure a good spot, a good location, and then eventually just camp out, maybe loot a little bit, and then just wait for any potential engagement. It's a plan for the next 17 teams that are still standing. And speaking of standing, Tata will be falling down in the hands of Rampage. And so that's an elimination, that's a confirmation on their part, somewhere out there in the map. So Rampage versus another squad. It's still not over, and finally Rampage MV actually walks into the game, walks into the lobby with all members. And so this is a pretty good prospect. They're gonna go against DCM unfazed, and so we'll have to wait and see how this will end.
And with the Shamatu right here as well for the side of DCM unfazed, the rest of them are looking for ways to fight back. But it seems like for the side of Crown Hunters, one member goes down by the hands, of course, of the enemies, and it seems like now they're trying to fight back. But I think it will be too late as the rest of the team are actually just gunning them down. And Mr. Peak right here has nothing to do but to just play this one, and hopefully the shots will connect. But it seems like Velocity 9 has taken control over that area, and that would be too much for them as they have to just go back and revive his teammate.
Crown Hunters is in trouble right now. Mr. Peak's the last person standing, but they do get that opportunity to revive one of their players. So Zeron, however, finds another opportunity to take down Soul, and so they're just gonna find a good angle, a really good angle. While Mother does find the first knock in this engagement, and Hayanku does get picked off very early on, and so we're down to 3 different people left on the side of Soul, and Zarek gets knocked as well, and so two last people on Soul that are still alive and kicking. They have the opportunity to revive Zarek, but will they get that opportunity? That's the question. Because Zeron, they're going on the aggressive. They're pushing in to the vicinity of Joyboy 17. And so Joyboy 17 throwing in that grenade, but that Molotov's gonna block his way. But he does have access to the staircase, and so Zeron might be pushing in. This is a 1 versus 1, and in the end, Joyboy is the one who loses that skirmish, but it's not over just yet. But 988 also goes down, and this is the end for Soul in the hands of Zeron.
And with that 17th place that goes to Sol, and the rest of the teams like here, Zeron, are gaining more points. 5 points even as early as 10 minutes into the game, but while that was happening with the side of Velocity Reinhardt there, they're getting a lot of kills, goes in for a couple of sprays once again, but leaves him with very low HP. Para, however, will finish it off with a grenade kill right there, and that would mark the elimination for Crown.
And that is one less team left in this first Miramar map. So Velocity 9, they're hunting. They're on their hunt, trying to find some eliminations in the bag. And they know there's a squad nearby. And so they're going aggressive. They know they have the capabilities. And they already showed it with 3 eliminations to their name 11 minutes into the game. So they're just finding an opportunity. They are getting shot at. You can see those bullets coming in, and TPP does go down from that. And all the while, there's another engagement going on for now. Our eyes are focused on V9. TPP needs to be revived, and all the dating out of the area, being the third party in this situation. They are shooting at Rampage MV right now, and Rampage, they have to worry about 2 different squads, and so Nape needs that revive. And over here, Mia is also getting shot. This is a horrible place to be in, so out in the open, and with 2 squads to be worried about. So it's not looking good for Rampage, but there's a chance that they can still reset and eventually find another to approach this engagement.
And a couple of sprays once again for the side of Rampage MB, hoping to get that down, but it won't be enough, and the shots will not connect. However, for them, they have to move this. We have to move this one out, and they just have to really look for places that will give them more opportunities, more openings to go for the kill. But yeah, for the rest of the team, still looking good. Though from Velocity 9, one member is still needing some revive right now, and actually he does. And with that, still for the side of CNS, left with 2 members remaining, and as well as Ambitious. For the side of SQD as well, the same goes for them. 2 members are remaining. To the side of TTS, Evox Lucy gets a down once again, just waiting to confirm that kill right there off screen. And they will confirm that for the side of Ambitious, and that would mark their elimination for the second to the last game of their group.
And we're down to 14 teams left, with 50 players still in the running. And so, just taking a look at the leaderboards, there are lots of teams that lost several of their players. That would be namely CNS and SQD. They both have only 2 people left standing. And all the while, Concept and FZ both lost 1 player on their side. And so, of course, it's still quite early on in the game, and the numbers won't matter as much as the strategies that you're gonna do and approach, how you're gonna approach those engagements. And so, for these teams that have the numbers at the disadvantage, you'll have to make do with what they have. But all the while, Rampage versus BCM Unfaced, several trades going in from both sides, and it seems that BCM Unfaced is not doing really well, and they are hanging on by a while. Rampage, they need to revive one of their players. All still have 3 healthy players left standing, so they have all the time in the world to get that revive in the bag. Rax, however, is the last person standing on the ACM Unfaced, and he's out in the open, and so he can get away. He can potentially get away, but he's looking for those for this opportunity to get
Ooh.
some eliminations in the bag, and he does
Ooh.
find one.
Yes.
He does find one
Oh.
elimination, but in the end, he loses his life from the hands of Rampage MV.
And with that marks their end for DCM Unfazed as well. And I think all of the teams are also preparing for what's to come later on. But it was also impressive that they have managed to fight back, but in the end, they have still lost that. And for now, looking at all the other teams, still looking good for them though. For the side of JNS, they have might a teammate that needs some resurrection right there, so they will just have to wait for the rest of their team. But for now, still, once again, it's 15 minutes into the game, and we might see some action later on.
Hopefully that action is gonna happen real soon because AKM they are going to run into TTS Evox sooner or later. That car is making a lot of noise and so he disembarks BU trying to find a good angle to approach this. But this will be a potential 3 versus 1 so he's gotta go nearer to the rest of his squad. But all the while, speaking of squad, CNS is in trouble. Two people disconnected and one Titan needs that revive. And so Kaizin, pretty much more or less the last person standing. And with that, there's a squad nearby. That would be SQD actually. They have Titan on their eyes. They have Titan on their vision. And so whether or not Kaizin will risk it and try to revive the other player on his roster, that's something that he'll have to decide sooner or later, but it's not looking good actually. He'll have to go through two members of SQD, and all the while BU is in trouble. He's getting sprayed at, and that's a knock on their side. And so TTS Evox, they walk away with that elimination from the side of BU. And so it's not over just yet actually. Yamin's also the distance, trying to get that revenge kill against Lucy, and so he gets that knock on their side. But however, TTS Evox, they're still in the game, and Javi trying to find this good angle to try to get the pick off that they need against TTS Evox, and so that's something that we'll find out real soon with the grenades out and hope deal some damage that they need.
And with Evox, one member remaining, still waiting for the teammate to be revived, and it seems like he does. But again, they're caught in a pickle, and probably they will have to move. They will have to move back, and we'll have to move away from them. Bun right here, as well as his remaining teammate. Of course, they will have to play this one very carefully. But while that was happening, seems like for the side of Club Leons, they have taken people out right here, and we'll just wait for the confirmation for the side of course Velocity 9 to confirm that kill, and they do take down TPP, and just one more kill confirmation before they can get another kill point. For now, the grenade will hopefully try to take them down, but it was thrown too far away and will not get that kill. But for now, still Club Leon's a long way to go, but still at this point, they're holding on to their spot, especially that they might just get surpassed, and that's what they're doing right now. They're being very aggressive while at the same time playing for placement points, and I think they're not really being too much aggressive right here. They also want to play this one safely, so they will have to move. But again, for the side of for other teams as well, it seems that they have garnered kills for their team as well, and just really waiting for a lot of confirmation. With Joker also a really noticeable player and a really commendable player, and I think that he has shown a lot of potential in this match.
And now this is between Club Leons and Zeron. Between these buildings, 1 versus 1 potentially,
there
and
we go.
Joker will be getting a lot of
Oh.
damage against him. But in the end, he does win that 1 versus 1, gets a knock on their side, and Madara gets confirmed completely. And so Leons, one person needing that revive. Joker very low on health. However, they do have 4 eliminations to their name. Joker doesn't have the opportunity to heal up. He does need that healing, but he prioritizes getting that throwable in, and so this might be a potential elimination. 1 versus 1 between Jyoti. Jyoti does win, gets that confirmation as well, and so that is a wipeout on the side of Zeron by the hands of Club Leons.
And with that marks the last 11 teams right now. For the side of SQD, a grenade kill will go. Just wait to confirm that kill. And once again, Concept also looking for a way to fight back, especially that he is the last member standing right now. One member still needs help, and that's gonna be Trillia Boy9 right here, still waiting for that revive for the side of SQD. It's looking pretty good for them, and especially they're now starting to gun down as the Concept, and still really waiting for that to end, and it seems like they get spotted as well. They get gunned down, but with squadrons, they have moved towards that and use it the smoke to their advantage, and at this point, just waiting to confirm that kill.
So just one more
Oh, he
pick.
got spotted.
However, the
One
black
more.
nade does go down, but still
One
they
more.
are two in that squad. And
Ooh.
yes, that is a confirmation on the last person from Concept. And that would mark their end on this Miramar map. And so squadrons, they have the opportunity to revive their last second to the last member rather, and they do walk away with 4 eliminations to their name, and so they have another chance. They have a chance to still rack up more points later on.
And with that, now down to the last 10 teams. Leon's Choti getting another down right there. Could be adding another kill to their name, and they do probably as well for against SQD, and just one more before they finally eliminate them. But for now, still they're being very careful in this one, especially the danger zone is against them.
Yes, and that danger zone is closing in. Kevin is very low on health, however. Still doesn't stop them from trying to get those sprays in against JNS in the corner. They are just behind this boulder. However, Bum Bum has a good angle against them. And so just one more good spray, one more good shots in the bag. He might get the elimination that he needs, but doesn't find it just now. He doesn't find the damage that he needs, and so they'll be resetting and finding another opportunity to strike. And so Go 2.0's Napu, he has his crosshairs out, trying to find some damage in the bag, and so Kevin Hose also has another angle in, and so trying to get something out of this engagement. They don't find the eliminations just yet, but Zoro over here is in trouble. And he's just hiding behind the tree and somehow still surviving all of that barrage of bullets. But all the while, Joker, speaking of surviving, he will be surviving for now. They have the opportunity to revive him, but all the while, TTS Evox, they're not looking really good. It's only Bun Bun left, and STL still has three other members is still left standing, and that goes the same for everyone else. Bun Bun's the last person standing, and so he'll have to go and survive. Maybe get some pickup, try to get some steal some kills rather, before eventually getting picked up.
Mm-hmm. And with that as well, 7 teams. We are now down to the last few moments before this game ends. Before we'll witness the last game later on to finally decide on which teams are gonna move to the finals. And now Juicebox right here going in, trying their best to fight back, but one of the members goes down, and the rest of Club Leons as well, with one member down as well. Another is very low on health, just waiting for them to actually fight back. But right now, they have seemed to have ended the lives of Juice right here before they move later to game number 6, match number 12 rather. And with this Joti, the rest of Leons, they have the higher advantage right here, especially that they have a lot of area to just cover and to just really gun them down. And now V9 has left also with one member remaining. Goat, however, still alive with 3 members. STL still down with the last 2 members, and it seems like they will probably finish this anytime soon. But for now, Leons, it's really looking good for them. Goats, however, they have the lower ground right here, so they will be put at a disadvantage.
Shoti is just in his element right now. He's already racked up 10 whole eliminations by himself, and he's looking for his 11th. He's definitely trying to get those sprays on, and Whites gets that damage against Go 2.0, but won't find the elimination just yet. Trying to get that confirmation, however, that damage is just not enough. Joker, however, needs to get revived, and all the while, V9 pushes into the area trying to get that elimination, but at the end gets punished for just walking into the Lion's Den, and that's the 15th elimination on the side of Clubs Leons. And definitely, Miramar is their map. They're getting so much points, but will it be enough to bag the top 5 spot? That's something we'll find out later. But for now, Choti pushing into the air. TLS, that's a complete elimination. And with that, Club Leons bags the winner chicken dinner for the first Miramar map of tonight.
Congratulations to Club Leons once again. And we have been highlighting Club Leons for a while, and it seems to have, I think that they really heard that. and they committed to that, and finally got the chicken dinner once again right here for day number 2. And we have one more match, but it does look like they will be securing their spot to move to the finals. Still one more match, probably another team will try their best to hold out for that number 5th spot, while the rest of the teams are trying to surpass them and just take them over. But for now, once again, congratulations to Club Leons.
And I was saying this a while ago. I was really worried for Club Leons because they got pushed down to top 6. And so they potentially would have lost their place in the finals. And once again, Jyoti with 10 whole eliminations alone with 1.1k damage, putting a lot of contribution points to their total points. And so with that, with Club Leons securing the top 3 spot in the leaderboards, they're back in the game. They're definitely back in the game. And they almost crossed the 3-digit mark for their total points. Is quite happy with their performance now. Maybe they shine more in Miramar, see the same kind of consistency later on. But for now, these are the total match rankings. Leons, of course, with 27 whole points for this match alone. And so V9 has 12. A very big gap between them and Leons. And coming in third is Goat with 10, Juice with 9, Evox with 8, Astiel with 7, Zero with 5, DCM Unfaced and SQD with 4 each. And of course, we'll be moving on to the next part of the table. That would be RPG with 4 points, JNS with 3, AKM and CNS with 2, and Concept with 1.
That 27 points is actually amazing for this group. Leons, they have surpassed our expectations, and they have managed to prove that they do belong in the finalists as they try to push even further. And they're not just going in getting the chicken dinner, getting 10 eliminations. They really went in and just garnered a total of 27, almost 30, giving them a lot of chance, a lot of freedom to move up to the finalists.
Yes, and hopefully we can see that kind of consistency from Club Leons, and hopefully they get to secure that spot for the finals. And so once again, that was the second to the last match for this group. And so we'll be moving on to the judgment map for this group. And so before that, we will be taking a short break. And so in a few minutes, we'll be seeing you really soon.
Once again, we are now back into the judgment match for Group Stage 2. Now we are your shoutcasters once again. I am Mike, and with me is Annie. Now, in this last match, you'll finally know the top 5 teams that will be moving to the grand finals. And for now, again, this is just gonna be very, very exciting. Now, Annie, what do you think?
I think, first off, I saw that flight path is just quite horrible. It's very,
Exactly.
very biased towards the southern side of Miramar. Very exciting. Already that second to the last match, the penultimate stage, was already so exciting with the shooting themselves up all the way to top 3, almost getting 3 digits into their. And so hopefully we'll be seeing some more in this last and final. With that, from the previous game, there's a lot that happen, especially if some of these teams will potentially pull off some more surprises. And so I'm really hoping to see some, new, something exciting later on.
And with that, I think this game will end fastly if most of the teams are scattered in the southern part. Though, I mean, the circle is at the northern part, they can just walk up there. But, probably they will meet a lot of teams along the way before they even get to it. So, I think this game is gonna be very, very fast, especially considering the flight path and also the circle. But yeah, I mean, for the rest of his teams, they're still gathering up the resources, going into loot up and securing buildings before they move to the upper part, to the circle.
Yes, and hopefully we'll see some early game engagements because that flight path doesn't leave a lot of room for these squads. I actually saw someone with like a certain skin, which kind of
It's
surprised
Jinx.
me because it looked like Jinx
Yeah, it is Jinx.
from another game. So I was like, wait a minute. And then yeah. Anyways, I was distracted and there were several kills going in and see Rocket right here finds another elimination. All the while I was thinking about that skin. But anyways, we're down to 64 players left in this Miramar map. And once again, I said it before and I'll say it again. Surprises, surprises. And that flight path is just giving us all the sweet opportunities for some early game eliminations.
Exactly. And this is what I've been talking about, is that there's just going to be a lot of bloodshed as early as possible, especially that they will have no choice but to share a lot of buildings with each other. And right now, we're actually seeing another potential engagement from both of these teams with Unfazed and, of course, their enemies right there.
Yes, and some sprays coming in, but still it's not resulting into anything in the kill feed just yet. And so we're back. We're back to just waiting out these teams, and eventually they'll eventually pull some punches later on. And speaking of which, Makonu gets his scope out, but he gets that trigger discipline for now. Doesn't want to give away his location, and so there's a lot of potential engagements in this area. There's several squads congregating in this one space. And once again, that's because of the flight path not giving these teams a lot of choices. But all the while, Concept finds their first engagement. However, their one player goes down on their side, but they're fighting back. They're definitely fighting back, but they're not finding the kills that they need just yet. Potato needs to be revived on the side of GNS. And so, with that, they walk away with 2 eliminations. However, GNS doing quite well, although they might potentially lose one player on their side.
For the side of GNS right here, I mean, they do lose one member here, but uh for the side of Concept, it's actually surprising that they got one member remaining right here, and we could actually see a swift end later on if they get spotted. He gets spotted easily, but it's actually just safe for Concept, is because they got the spot to be in the finals, but I think they're now just playing it in a game of patience right here, especially that Unfazed has already been eliminated, the first team to get eliminated for this last match. So I think they're just playing. I mean, the remaining member of Concept is just playing right here for patience in order to just get a lot of placement points as he can.
Yes, So that's the plan. And unfortunately for Concept, they're already falling off so early on in the game, but it's still not stopping Yetui from getting one more elimination in the bag. And so another chance here, GNS trying to get that 1 versus 1, but in the end, Concept does end their journey here. But although they do have a lot of points, they're they're probably still in the top one and they probably won't be overtaken anytime soon. And so for now, Concept will have to sit back all the while Bum Bum's trying to get versus one, but he's very low on health. And so another squad member trying to go in and rescue him. And so they get one elimination in the bag, but get knocked. And with that confirmation, that's not happening
Bum.
just yet. 1 versus 1, Bum Bum wins that with so very little health left. He actually didn't take much damage from that spray, and so that's just absolutely crazy performance coming in from Bum Bum. And so, Go 2.0 will live to see another day.
Exactly. And for now, Go 2.0, while they will get to live the next day, they will still probably have to recover and wait later on, since especially there have been a lot of bloodshed, and they just have to finally be able to stay low key. But for now, the rest of AKM Esport will probably look for another place, especially if they know that they're just enemies sharing their area. For now, one member from Juicebox will go down. I'm just waiting to confirm that kill. STL finding another from Juicebox once again, and this could actually mark the end for Juice if their last member is dead.
Yes, and that's the plan. There's a lot of teams that are already eliminated out of this match. And CNS over here, they walked into the lobby with only 2 players, and so it's not looking good for their prospects. Although they can probably try and survive basically with only 2 members and then maybe wait out the rest of their squad, the rest of the other teams to pick each other off before they really try and get some eliminations. But all the while, of course, some of these teams they'll have to rotate out of the area because flight path a while ago was quite far from the circle. And so for the likes of Crown Hunters, they'll have to move out of the way and try to secure an area at the top of the map. And so that's what they're doing, and that's presumably what these other squads are doing as well. Except for perhaps STL and another squad, they are having their own somewhere out there in the map. And so some knocks and some eliminations going into the back, and that's already racking so many kills on their side. That goes the same with squadrons as well. They already found 4 eliminations to their name.
Mm-hmm. And with that marks again, Juice Box being eliminated now. 13 teams remaining with still 7 minutes into the game, which is what I've said a while ago. This would probably end fastly, especially with the circle that they're all gonna have to move to the play zone in order to get some safety. It's just gonna take some timing in order to avoid certain teams from engaging into action, into just straight gunfights. But for now, I think they're with JNS Elite right here. They're also being very careful and just doing their best to move into the play zone as soon as possible.
Yes, and that's what they should be doing. They have to secure their spot within the play zone if they want a good shot of getting perhaps maybe some gatekeep eliminations or so on and so forth. But over here, Rampage MV, they're down to 2 players left. Although Rocket does have 4 eliminations to his name, doing quite well so far. And there's a potential pick off over here. There might be one player from GNS at a distance. That would be Carlo and his little motorcycle coming into the area, into their vicinity. Although he will be joined in by 2 of the rest of his squads. And so they'll be securing this area for now. There's another squad nearby, but for now, the chances of an engagement rather going on, it's not that much. And so we'll have to wait for any more action later on.
And with that, still 13 minutes, 13 teams, and now almost 10 minutes into the game. It's gonna be actually very exciting later on, especially that JNS have been found right here and would probably get killed by Zeron. And exactly with that, TH4 just marks him down and just really waits for that confirmation. And it seems like JNS has really walked to a spot, to an area that is not really meant for them, and it probably would end them right there unless Luffy would do something right here against Zero.
Yes, and Zeron, they gotta do something. They're getting bombarded by Luffy right here. And so Zeron, with all four players still standing on their squad, they have a good chance against JNS. And so Luffy, they know exactly just that. And so he's rotating out the area. He's given away his location. He's a moving target. Getting sprayed at. However, he goes out of the woods. He puts a lot of distance away from Zeron and himself. So they'll be seeing another day for now. For how long will that stay true? That would be the question that needs to be answered.
And with that in mind, 13 teams still alive and kicking, and I think they have found their timing, they've found their footing, and really just decide on when to go to the circle. And for JNS Elite right here, it seems like they're gonna go around this one to get to the back part of the circle to get there very, very safely without having to face a lot of teams. And I think that's what the other teams would be doing, except for those that would just really want to go for kills. I mean, right now, this is just gonna be the judgment match for all of these groups and to decide who will move to the finals. But for now, we're the same with the Stallion right here, still looking for their own way to get inside the play zone without getting spotted by enemies.
Yes, and there's a lot of chances that they'll get spotted real soon because the story for these 18 teams, they have landed quite far from the first circle. And so they'll have to rotate sooner or later, especially if they haven't done so just yet. And so lots of surprises so far. Already less than 10 minutes into the game, there were already 5 teams that got picked off, got eliminated thanks to that flight path that was just so unforgiving. And so hopefully we can see some more surprises very soon. But for now, we're entering a quiet part of this Miramar match.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And still, they will have to look for another enemies, but it does look like the circle is still a little bit bigger, and these teams have spread it out fairly against each other. So they will have more time, but it does look like Rampage MV will face a fight later on against another team.
Yes, and hopefully that happens really soon. But for now, nothing much. Nothing much. Everyone's just having the same idea, looting the area, and perhaps just securing some locations, secure some really good spots. And for now, just taking a look at the leaderboards, STL and JNS, they're down to 2 members, and that goes the same with RPG as well. And so for everyone else, it seems that SQD, Go 2.0, on AKM, and Crown and V9 as Evox. They all have all of their players still alive. And so with some teams, however, they lost 1 member. That would be GNS, Leons, and of course we might be seeing another team join that real soon with several squads going at it against each other. Yeah, losing 1 member after the other. Now Zoro's person standing, and with that grenade, will that finish him off? That's the question, because there's another squad pushing into his area and he's all alone. And with this 1 versus 1, he does win that elimination in the bag, but in the end he gets traded off, gets that revenge kill, and so STL falls to the hands of Go 2.0.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And Go 2.0 right here getting a lot of kills to their name and would probably hunt another team as well. I think GNS would be next on the list, especially that they also got 5 kills to be followed by the Squadrons and of course Rampage MV. For Zeron, still 3 kills to their name, while the rest of the team still got none. And still maybe just waiting and probably getting that placement kills, that chicken dinner. Ooh, a car just passed by, but the shots didn't connect for now. And yeah, at this point, that's gonna be, at least this place is gonna be in the side of Go 2.0. The shot's trying to connect, but it won't take one down. But still, from Carlo, of course, a knife kill just already spotted on the off screen right there and just waiting to confirm that kill.
Yes, to Go 2.0. They had the opportunity to go against TTS Evox, but TTS Evox, of course, they're trying to play it safe. They're trying to find a better angle to approach this engagement. All the while, Rampage also another party in this situation. And so this is between three squads, and they're all going against each other. And for the likes of Rampage MV, they have to worry about both GOAT 2.0 and TTS Evox. Right now, it's between the two big teams, Rampage MV versus TTS Evox. We can see some trades coming in, and there's actually a fourth party towards the northern side. So this is gonna be really exciting. Lots of things gonna happen, and all the while, Crown does find their own elimination against Potato as well with that DBS. And so it's not over just yet. Rampage, they're in trouble. And Crown over here, Avati goes down. And that is the last of their team. And so Crown gets completely eliminated from the picture.
Definitely. And now down to the last 11 teams. Still, Go 2.0 finds another kill from the side of Rampage. Right here, now down to the last member. And they just have to hunt him down in order to confirm the elimination for Rampage MV. The other team, however, with GNS, still alive and kicking with the last two members for their team. But in a very impressive 8 eliminations right here. Carlo going into land, and the rest of the team are just really maybe just looking for another area to just go and raid, especially that probably other teams would be staying there.
Yes, and see over here, these squads, these teams, they're just resetting their positions, finding a good location to potentially find some engagements as well. And so we're entering once again a little bit of a quiet part of Miramar. However, GNS is very nearby Go 2.0, so there's a chance that they'll find an engagement later on. And over here, Club Leon, so far they haven't found any eliminations just yet. They haven't run into anyone. But hopefully that'll change really soon because they are within the circle. And you can see there's a squad nearby. There's a squad nearby towards their western side. That might be Zeron or that might be Concept as well because they're both green. And so that's something we'll find out later. And hopefully we can see some action real soon.
Definitely. And I'm really excited on how this will conclude and how which teams are going to be chosen as the finalists. But for TTS Evox, Bunbun right there spots one and takes one down with a vehicle elimination right there. And then the rest of TTS Evox are just going straight into this one and just really went in for the raid. But Lucy seems to have been spotted by Velocity 9 right here, and they will take him down, just waiting to confirm that kill. And they do, and that would be a casualty for the side of TTS Evox. Now with Jelly right here waiting for heads to pop out before they can confirm, before they can go for the kills. But yeah, at this point, Velocity 9 is also prepared for their attack.
Yes, and Rampage MV, they're trying to find a good angle, but so far, they're not finding any progress just yet, but Paro is within their scope. But Paro does get away in a car, and so Rocket will have to find another opportunity to get a kill. And so within this circle, there's a lot of things happening, especially between Paro and Rocket. Paro does get away and goes into the vicinity of where the rest his players are, and so game over Velocity 9. So far, they only have one elimination to their name, so they gotta step up if they want to keep their spot within the top 5. However, that's the same kind of mindset that everyone else has. The last 11 teams standing in this very last match for this group stage, and so there's a lot at stake for many of these squads. They gotta do something. They gotta step up and try to get as much eliminations and survive for as long as possible, because between V9 and RPG, they're still at their standstill. No one wants to go and take the risk of pushing in, and so TPP actually, that might be a chance. This might be a chance for them to push in and try to take advantage of their numbers and try to get some eliminations.
And that would mark once again that team elimination right there. Now down to the last 10 teams. The run member from Zeron will go down by the hands of Go 2.0 as they rush straight into it to confirm the kill, and the rest of the team are just taking control of this area while still fighting against Zeron, who is also holding their place, trying their best to stop Go 2.0 from taking this one away from them. Butler here waiting for them to pop out before they can fight. The grenades will probably connect later on, but Soljex right here who spots one from the side of Go 2.0, takes one down, prepares for the grenades, prepare for the throwables before they go for the attack. But it seems like they're being very, very careful, especially that Goat have been throwing a lot of grenades in their name as well. Now, for the rest of Zerons, they still have a fighting chance right here, but they're gonna have to act very careful, especially that they still got 3 eliminations.
There's several crossfires going in the map right now, especially coming in from the side of this orange squad. And so, one after the other, AKM finds the eliminations that they need. And speaking of which, that would be the complete elimination of TTS Evox on the hands of AKM. And so, with that, they have 3 eliminations to their name. And for the side of Go 2.0, they're trying to find their 7th, trying to get that grenade in the bag, but unfortunately, they don't find the knock that they need just yet. They need those eliminations if they want to step up and try to get their spot in the 5. And so that's the same thing with the other teams. Rampage over here, 1 versus 1 person from AKM. So Rocket does win that fight and gets that 1 elimination in the back. That would be his 5th, in fact, for this game.
And with that marks the 6 teams remaining that will now fight to the death in this final game right now. Rampage MV Rocket here spots one from AKM Esports, goes in for the spray, but the shot won't connect. CNS gets eliminated right there as well, and it seems like Rocket will find that kill after AKM just went for the aggression right here, and he seems like he just got punished by showing himself to the party. And for now, 17 players remaining, still waiting for the rest of AKM to revive him. But it seems like right now Rampage is also waiting for possible enemies that will show up to the party. Javi also waiting for the head to pop out. But for the rest of GOAT members right here, seems like they have 2 members remaining. The others got eliminated. But for the side of Club Leons, they also got 2 eliminations as well, just waiting for the confirmation. Javi gets killed right there. Now down to the last 5 teams right here. RPG getting eliminated. SQD, AKM, Leons, GOAT, and Zeron, who will end up to the top and who will win this chicken dinner for today's match. Now Coach Sherry right here tries to fight back, but it was just too late and they get eliminated, being the 5th team.
And Zeron almost very low on health. They're down to 2 players, and those 2 players are very low on health, but they managed to revive one, and so they're back as a 3-man squad. And that goes the same with Leons. They also have 3 people left in their squad, but AKM, they find a shot against Zeron. Whether or not that will be an elimination, that will be an elimination. They say goodbye for now. Now this is between SQD and Club Leons. Leons, the last match, they did bag that winner chicken dinner. And so will that be the same this game? It might be a good chance because they have the numbers advantage. They still have 3 players left standing, and they are bombarding the area of SQD. They are bombarding their vicinity. However, SQD, they have a good momentum going on. They have 6 eliminations to their name, and Leons has 3. And so with that, Trippy is from a distance. And so if the other member of his squad gets picked up, at least he's still over there, but he still gets spotted, however. Takes some damage, but it's not enough for that knock. It's not enough for Club Leons to completely wipe out SQD from the game.
And Trippy right here, still waiting for the head to pop out. He spots one, tries to get into the danger zone, but that would mark his demise, getting, of course, the 2nd place. And the winner chicken dinner goes yet again to Club Leons. 2 times in a row, back to back. Wow.
And I actually mentioned this a while ago that there's a chance that there's a team that's just gonna shine in Miramar all of a sudden. And all of a sudden, yes, that happened to be Club Leons. That 2nd in a row. Winner chicken dinner in Miramar, no less. These are their individual team stats. Whites got picked off quite early. Less than 2 minutes in the game, in fact. But however, Icesuit over here with 3 eliminations and Joker with 1, all each contributing a bit of damage on their side. But still, what matters is that they bagged that winner chicken dinner and steals it away from SQD. And so they managed to cross the 3-digit mark for their total points. And so there's a good chance that they managed to land themselves within the top 5 and eventually qualify for the final.
Mm-hmm. And with that marks the end of all of the matches for group stage number two. Now with 62 eliminations for the last match and a total of 6,463 healing and a grenade elimination of one and no vehicle eliminations. And in this game, especially that them getting the winner chicken dinner with 14 total points, it really proves on my statement a while ago it would probably end on a faster note because it they didn't really have to play it to drag usually the the battles because they're just near each other. They can just use their guns and they have just no way of just holding that place any longer. So yeah, I mean that's the end of match 12. It was kind of most of the players right here, most of the teams didn't really get a lot of points, but it's still a winner chicken dinner for Club Leons.
Yes, and with that, these are your top players for the last match of this group stage. And of course, with Rocket getting 6 whole eliminations to themselves. And so that's just absolutely great number of points coming in. But this is the match rankings of this match. And so Leon's bagging that winner chicken dinner walks away with 14 whole points. SQD and Zero, and however, tying for second and third place, they both get 12. AKM and GNS both having 10, Goat having 9, RPG with 8, STL having 5, CNS with 4. That's the first half of the table. And coming in for the second on wrap number 10, that will be V9 with 3 points. DCM and Face, Constant and Juice each having 2 points each, and Crown having 1. And so, for the rest of them, it's not looking good for their placements on their leaderboards because they don't have much points. They actually have 0 points. That would be going in for the last 4 teams of this match. And so, once again, these are your overall rank. Last chance for these. And so, if your favorite team made it into the top 5, then congratulations. They'll be moving on to the finals, and that would be Concept. And number 1, Club Leons finally regaining their number 2 spot. Zeron coming in third. Velocity 9 still hanging on to their number 4 spot. And Go 2.0 finally crossing the 3-digit mark with their place in top 5. And so, congratulations once again to those who qualified for the finals.
And with that marks the end for group stage number two. They will be facing the finalists also from group stage number one. And of course, that would happen in a few days from now. We will, of course, see the group stage number three tomorrow. And still, we're going to see them for 2 days before we finally decide on which teams from group stage number three will also move to the finals, which will be battling, of course, the finalists for group one and group two. But here we go, the second page of the overall rankings. They still tried their best. Congratulations to all of them, especially with Unfazed, which we've seen them progress and we've seen their potential. Just a lot of eliminations as well, but it wasn't just enough. It was unfortunate because they were late in actually showing up. But yep, the other teams as well. Congratulations for trying their best.
Yes, and of course, although they didn't qualify for the finals, they still had a lot to learn from going against 17 other teams in this group stage. And so, hopefully, we can see these other teams perform, I mean, show up in the other tournaments in the future tournaments to come. But for now, that will be the last we'll be seeing them in this tournament. Hopefully, we'll be seeing them in the future. But for now, once again, these top 5 teams, we will be seeing them again later on in the finals. But before the finals, of course, we will be moving on to the Group 3 stage in the next 2 days to come. There will be 18 new teams, more or less 18 new teams and 18 new faces. And so they will be battling out within 2 days once again, just the same as this group. And of course, the overall MVP actually go 2.0's Bum Bum. Average eliminations of 2.5 with average damage of 653.08 and average assist of 0.83, knock 3.25. Of course, I'm showing up to every single match in this group stage. And of course, average heals of 182.75. Total eliminations all by himself. 30 total eliminations spread amongst 12 games. And so, of course, once again, congratulations to Go 2.0's very own. We've seen this guy. We've seen this guy always showing up in the kill feed, getting one kill after the other. And so it's understandable that he clinched the number one spot on the top players. And so coming in second will be Concepts 3x110. Third would be TH4KM9. And number 4 will be Y9 from Concept. Number 5 will be Club Leonce's very own Joe.
And with that, for group stage number two, there you have it, our top five players, which belongs, of course, to the finals that will be moving, of course, to the grand finals in the next 3 days, I guess. I mean, we're still gonna be facing with 2 days of group stage number three, the last group stage that will be joining them to the finals, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm very very excited to it.
Yes, and that ends Group Two's stage. And so we will be moving on to Group 3, new teams, and 2 more days of 6 maps each. So once again, this will be Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4. We have been your casters for tonight. Once again, my name is Annie, and tonight with me was Mike. And so we will be seeing you tomorrow for a bunch of new teams, a bunch of new action. And so for now, we'll be saying goodbye and hopefully we'll be seeing you tomorrow